All right, everybody, we're here live. It's me and Sean. We're waiting on big old Juno, and seems like we got a good packed crowd tonight. Thank you guys all for coming, and we got something here.
What in the actual fuck is happening to me? I think I've taken a bunch of LS fucking D. Holy shit, something's happening here. Oh man, what the fuck? I think I'm gonna change.
You motherfuckers, I will burn you all to the ground.
Ray Dennis Steckler. Now, who doesn't love Ray Dennis Steckler? Assholes. Assholes don't love Ray Dennis Steckler. Ray Dennis Steckler, an incredible filmmaker.
Subscribe now to Texas HXCX 1965.
All right. I knew I'd see that blank expression on your face, like, what the fuck?
Yeah. It's almost like, wait, is this real time? Is that really going on right now? But Gizmo just stopped by. He said he's going to bed where he's at. He just wanted to drop in and say hello real quick.
Yeah, I saw that.
But yeah, other than that, what's up, everyone in the chat? But yeah, I'm not exactly sure what the topics are tonight, but I'll be sharing some recent pickups throughout this stream, and we're picking something for May 4th for Star Wars, I think. So maybe the chat can help us out with that or whatever. We'll get that figured out, and yeah, we'll just see how this goes. Maybe this will be like a 2-hour, 2.5-hour stream. We'll see how it goes.
But we've got all the great people here, I'm glad Russell left that other boring stream he was at. I mean, what? I didn't say that. It always starts out with comedy, everyone. You know that. Plus my big face. Yeah.
I'm just going to say hello to everyone in the chat real quick. What's up, Zodiac, Rosalia, Johnny over at the Wild Guys, Gizmo, Russell. Let's see, the Slasher Dude. I think that's it for now. Yeah, but I'm sure Juno will be here shortly or whatever, but
We've
Yeah, other
got
than that, I know the next watch party on my channel is going to be Friday for Alien Day. We're going to be watching James Cameron's 1986 movie Aliens, and Larry over at the Horror Cat Dad's supposed to be joining us for that. So that should be a good turnout or whatever. I actually ended up watching the 4K. What was that? Yesterday? Yeah, yeah, it was yesterday. I finally watched the 4K yesterday, and I can see why some people are upset with the transfer on that, just that one, really. But I mean, like, obviously, well, I mean, for anyone who's seen it, there's no grain field at all. It's just a straight up digital transfer. They didn't take it from the original negative. It seems like they just took it from the previous Blu-ray and then upped it from there, which is not a good idea, but that's what it seems like they did in that situation. But I just noticed throughout I watched the special edition, which is the extended director's cut or whatever, and whenever there's close-ups on people's faces, like everyone's faces just look so waxy and just dull and lifeless. And I don't know. It's gonna be I don't know. It's gonna be a challenge getting used to watching that transfer, but I mean, as of now, I think I still prefer the Blu-ray over the 4K on that one. But I mean, it's not completely awful. It's just some areas of it where you're watching and things stand out to what and you know, another thing is too is like I'm so used to watching that film with a grain field. That's another thing it's gonna take some getting used to, is watching it with no grain and everything. But you know, it could be worse. There's no like print damage or anything, you know, to really talk about with that. But you know, it just is what it is.
So we've got Dirk, of course, from the Subjective Collective Perspective, and we have Brooke is here, and we also have 71 as well, and Johnny from the Wild Guys. So
Okay, cool.
we're
Yeah, we
doing
got
well.
16 people here right now. That's great.
Yeah.
What's up, guys?
I'll give you guys another big shot of my face. There we go. I don't know if Miss Moonbeam herself is going to be here or not, because I haven't heard from her all day. But you know, she's
Yeah, I'm
here,
sure
there, and
she's
everywhere.
probably busy. Probably got
Yeah.
some things going on, you know.
Yeah. So. But anyway, so if you want to go first, or you want to talk about the weekend or anything?
What, like this coming weekend?
No, the past weekend.
Oh, like no, not really. I mean, you know, I had a good birthday. Actually, I got a birthday present here from my dad's girlfriend. Bought me a Funko Pop. It's a Star Wars one too, actually, which is like, I don't know. I just thought it was kind of weird. It's one of these big ones too. So I gotta take this out of the box real quick. But yeah, I mean, my birthday was pretty good though. You know, I just hung out with my mom before I did the stream on Friday, and we got dinner and stuff. But other than that, you know, it's nothing too elaborate. But we got Mandalorian N1 Starfighter with Grogu here. This thing,
Oh, nice.
which is, can't really get good light on it without getting a giant glare blur on there, you know. But that's basically what it's supposed to be, like that thing right there. With the Mandalorian there, with little Grogu in the back part there, the N1 Starfighter. But yeah, I don't have any of these like oversized pops in my collection. I only have like a couple of them on display. Like sometimes I see them and, you know, certain ones jump out at me, but like I probably have like 5 or 6, I think, on display now, something like that. But I think this is an Amazon exclusive, it says on there too. So yeah, it was definitely a surprise, that's for sure. But that's, you know, the only real gift that I got for my birthday. But yeah, other than that, you know, was it Friday? Yeah, Friday night I mean, I drank a little bit, and then after the stream, I ended up smoking a joint, and then I just passed out. So,
Well, Sunday I saw Abigail,
You can exit me out there. There you go.
and that was fucking awesome. I really enjoyed it.
What, Abigail?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I know you were telling me, which is like the trailer does look interesting. It really does, but like it, not a whole lot was really jumping out at me to make me go like I got to go see this in the theater. But
But see,
I mean, after hearing like you going to see it, you said it was pretty cool overall, and I mean, I'm probably going to just see it once it's available on physical or whatever.
well, that was the good thing about the trailer because it didn't give, the whole fucking thing away. I mean, really, it didn't give anything away. There's so many twists in that fucking film. You're just like, whoa, wait, what? Where'd this come from? And stuff like that. And so and it has a great ending too. You don't get a bullshit ending. So it was really good.
Yeah, I just know from watching the trailer and you see her in the cage and all these people are like just terrified and you could tell in the trailer that they're all just kind of grappling with their own decisions on what to do with her. So like just that in itself is kind of interesting right off the bat.
And Derek says Megan versus Abigail. Well, I don't know, since Megan's a machine and Abigail's a vampire. I don't know that's getting into that, kind of weird concept,
Yeah, I didn't really mind Megan that much. Like, I mean, like, when I first saw it or whatever, like, I was engaged into it. I liked what I was seeing, but I wasn't, like, blown away by it at the same time. But it seems like a lot of people really weren't down with it. I thought it was okay for what it was.
Yeah. Longlegs, I saw a really good trailer, like a full-on trailer for that when I saw Abigail, and it made no fucking sense. And you didn't really know what it was until at the end when it said Longlegs, because I was like, wait, what the fuck is this? And because it had nothing to do with like those teaser trailers they put out. I mean, it was like totally different. And it was like, what the fuck is this? This is weird as shit. And then the next thing you know, it says Longlegs. I was like, oh, dude, wow,
Yeah,
So,
I know that's been getting some talk along with Maxine or whatever, but I finally saw Late Night with the Devil, which I thought was pretty good overall. Besides some like obvious questionable things with like CGI and AI enhancement, all that stuff, but I just feel like with Late Night with the Devil, it's it did something a little bit different with the possession subgenre, and I didn't like really overanalyze the movie. I wasn't like blown away by it, but I liked what I saw. I gave it a 7 out of 10 overall. So, but it seems like most people have enjoyed that so far. Late Night with the Devil.
Charlie Bucket versus Peter Bark.
Oh god. Peter Bark. I remember I was like years ago. I was trying to talk to him on Facebook, and I realized he doesn't speak English. He's all like replying to me in different like I guess think it must have been Italian or something. He's like replying back to me, and I'm like I can't understand what this dude's saying. But he actually does try to talk to people.
Charlie Bucket versus Juno for a golden ticket. Chris says Late Night with the Devil is his horror of the year so far.
Yeah, if Texas, you come up with any ideas for like clips during streams or anything, let me know, and I'll send the that information forward to Johnny over at the Wild Guys.
Okay. Did you want to show that thing tonight that you sent me earlier?
What did I send you?
History.
Yeah. That's pretty much why I sent it to you. Yeah.
But I couldn't get any sound on mine. Yeah. So did it have sound?
I don't think there was any sound. I think it was just a movie poster. I'm pretty sure it was because I just made it into like a 10-second clip because it was just a poster or whatever.
Oh, okay. Oh, did you want to show your pickups or whatever?
Yeah, I'm gonna do that here in a minute, but I see
Okay.
Jason here, Ginger Ninja.
Yep.
What's up, Jason? Yeah, what's up there? Dirk over at Subjective Perspective. And Live Style Rewind is here. Now the party can start.
Oh yeah, definitely.
All right, give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Oh,
Sean plays the trumpet. So this is like, you know, when I have the embarrassing situation where I have an uncomfortable silence, when usually I would be, you know, telling jokes and tipping the waitress, things of
which
that.
is pretty much why I don't like streaming by myself.
Right?
You know, to keep it going without having any dead air is like a challenge sometimes. But yeah, I got a few pickups here. Nothing like these are mostly upgrades because I was able to find these online for cheap prices, and I had to take advantage of that. I felt like so. Nothing really new here besides like 1 or 2 things really, but other than that, these are real just like upgrades from Blu-ray to 4K. But
Hey, Derek. Derek's here from Woo Riders.
what's up, Woo? But we'll go with the one Blu-ray here from Scream Factory. I've been wanting to get this one for quite a while, but had a real headache with getting this one in the mail without damage, and finally got one without damage. And yeah, this is from 1971, and Let's Scare Jessica to Death.
Oh,
And
wonderful.
yeah, I've never owned this one before. I know, like, you know, not everyone's really into this one. I know this one's more of like a psychological, atmospheric horror film overall from the early 70s, but you know, I haven't seen it in quite a long time. I know it's funny, like, it seems like there is like a good amount of people out there that really don't like this movie, but there's also like a good crowd of people that do speak about this movie, and my light situation just fell apart. I gotta go fix that. Alright. I don't know why that just happened. Alright, that's better. But yeah, that's the first thing I got here is Let's Scare Jessica to Death on Blu-ray from Scream Factory. Another good thing was finding that nail, like the prices dropped on it. So, you know, I was able to get that for under $20. I think like the average price is like $23 or something. But yeah, the rest here is all upgrade to 4K. I ended up finding this one on eBay for $12. This is Violent Night. I do already have this on Blu-ray, but I was like $12 with the slipcover. Yeah, it's now or never because I know that price is not going to stay on there. So that's why I grabbed that one. And yeah, next one here from Tim Burton. Really glad I had this one. And I have not checked. Well, yeah, I just recently got this, so I haven't checked out any of these yet, really. I'm definitely familiar with all the stuff I have here. I just haven't seen these transfers yet. And yeah, this is Tim Burton's 1999 film, Sleepy Hollow. It's really up there as one of my all-time favorites from him. I mean, Tim Burton. And it's always hard to land on one movie from him. Is it Beetlejuice? Is it this? Or is it like Pee-wee's Big Adventure? Like, it's like, you know, Batman Returns and, you know, those movies. But yeah, it's hard to land on one, but this is definitely a big one for me. That's for sure.
Liv likes your red backlighting. She goes, it's nice and moody. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's, you know what? It's orange light bulbs is what it is. And it's just not so overwhelming when because like you put 3 bulbs in the ceiling fan, it's a little overwhelming with regular wattage bulbs. It's like, damn, I come in here, I'm like, what the fuck? I can't see, it's so bright. So I put the orange bulbs and I was like, all right, that looks better. And then I started streaming with it. I was like, all right, it actually looks good on screen too. So I'll just leave it like that. But yeah, we got couple more here, and next up here we have a complete collection here. I've never owned any of these movies before. I actually found this one for $14.99. I thought that was a really good steal here, considering that you have 5 movies in this 4K set. And this is the complete collection for the Bourne movies. I'm not even. I've only seen the first one of these, so there's 5 in here. But I got them all now, so I can finally sit down and check all these out. But yeah, I'm trying to get some other films in my collection that aren't, just always horror. I am open to a lot of different genres. Obviously, horror is like something I focus on the most, but I really do like drama and action films too. And the last 2 I have here is from Francis Ford Coppola, and we have Godfather on 4K and The Godfather 2. I actually do have the Blu-ray set that has all 3 films, and I forget that part 3, like that new cut that came out for part 3, which I still need to see. But yeah, these were cheap enough at. I think these were actually $11.99. Yeah, $11.99 for both. I mean,
No, it's not bad at
$11.99,
all.
$11.99. But yeah, that's it though for now as far as what I've gotten recently with physical media.
Well, I never. No, I'm just kidding. That the perfect response to all that when somebody always says that, well, I never, and you just go, yes, you do.
Never ever have I ever.
Right.
Yeah. What we got? 17 people in the chat. Yeah, I hope you're all having a good week so far. I see Chris C is here. What's up, Chris C?
He says he's got the 4K steel books of the first 2 Godfather films. Well,
I remember seeing those when they went up for pre-order, actually. That was a while ago. Might have been like 2020, I think, when they were released, something like that. 2022, I think these were released.
and he says, happy late birthday again to you. So there you go.
Oh, yeah, thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
I'm gonna pop in, a couple of my movies that nobody's ever seen, and I'm gonna do this one first. This is, and it even says on the back, a terrific film, and it is. It's Bad Boy Lover Boy, and it's about this I guess he's kind of this immigrant dude that works with like this hot dog cart in New York, and then this photographer guy hires him kind of as a model and then to help with like the models. And so then he tells him, you can do this too. You can borrow the studio. So then he gets this one, prostitute in there one night, and then things don't go the way he's expecting, and he winds up strangling her to death. And then things kind of just go from there. That the guy turns into a psycho. But it's a good family film, one to watch with grandma and the dog. And I think pretty much everybody will like this. When you get to see like New York and it's just this guy like kind of go nuts, and yeah, it's a fun one.
I gotta jump out real quick and send the link to Juno.
All
He's
right.
asking me for it. Like I sent it to him earlier, but I'll be right back.
Okay. Johnny, I hope that wasn't your childhood, that you were strangling like prostitutes in a photography setting. Oh, that's awesome. Gizmo has one of his actresses from his film Christmas Blood. Excellent. That should make people like enjoy it more, that she was in your film. So that's a pretty good one. I know Rosa Bagboy. There we go. Okay, so the next one is one that, well, you've probably kind of seen, but it doesn't get enough love, and that's My Bodyguard. And that has Chris Makepeace from the original Meatballs film. Matt Dillon. This is probably his second or third film, I think, maybe fourth, fifth, who knows. Ruth Gordon is in this. Jennifer Bills from Flashdance, or Flash Dunce, as I like to call it. And this was actually written by Alan Ormsby, who wrote Deranged. So that's pretty cool. You know, that you get a movie about a guy that likes to beat up kids, you know, written by a guy that did a movie about Ed Gein. So, you know, that even worked. But this is a good coming of age films. And as you know, most people know, I'm a mark for coming of age films. So there you go. So it's, you know.
What year is that?
This was like 1980. So it was had to have been after the edge. I mean, Over the Edge, you know, after Over the Edge, you know.
I know I've seen that release before. Like, it was on Amazon like a while ago. I was looking at it. Like, sometimes I see random Kino titles pop up where I'm not familiar with the movie and I kind of just stare at them. So, like, I remember seeing that one on there.
Johnny, that's what she said to me when I was about 18. And things happened, you know. But anyway, thank God Moonbeam's not in here, or she would be like, what in the world? Yeah. Dirty Dancing, exactly. That's what I call that. I do. Dirty Dancing. So dirty dude. Oh shit. See, Rosie, she's all up and, you know, the now with the titles and stuff. You know, that's good though.
Dirty douche. You got to get like a Texas accent on that too, like dirty douche.
God, I'm sure that there's been plenty of like rednecks at some of the local bars here. Ah, damn, my girl, she got a douche tonight, so she ain't here. So it's just me and my buddy Jack, but I don't know which hand to hold it in. I mean, what? You know.
Well, shucks.
all up in there. All up in there. There.
Or as like subjective, Dirk always says, all up in there like swimwear.
That's some mastification, you know, whatever the fuck that means, you know. We can do, Russell, you got to help me out with this. What was the thing on SCTV with the 3D thing? What was his name? Come on, Russell, don't take 20 fucking minutes to answer me, damn it. Let's go. We're waiting here. Well, it doesn't matter. They did this, you know, Joe Flaherty, rest in peace, but he had his, you know, count thing and he would do the 3D. So there we go. Count Floyd. There you go. Thank you, Russell. Man, he was quick. There we go.
You know what movie I find? Like I bought this on Blu-ray like 2 months ago, and I finally sat down and watched it. I haven't seen it since like the early 2000s. David Lynch's Mulholland Drive. I finally watched this on Blu-ray today. Well, you know, this is just such a bizarre drama film. Really, like, I like it though. Like that's what I like about it. I like how so far out it is, and like there's times when you're watching a movie like this, you could forget certain things, and then there's this littlest details that David Lynch does to pull you back to those scenes from the beginning of the film. And I mean, even that whole scene when the one guy is like in the diner, he's trying to explain to him, he keeps having this recurring dream where he's like, I see you and you're frightened, and I see, and then when I see that you're frightened, then I become frightened. And then they leave the diner, he goes out back and he sees that witch in the alleyway, and he like immediately just faints because he's so scared of this witch. Yeah, I know, it makes no sense what I'm saying. It's something you just gotta say.
The thing with that is, and I need to pick that up, but when I moved back here after my divorce, I was going out with this woman who she just would stick to me like glue. I mean, sometimes I couldn't get any privacy, you know. It's just like, you know, all my privacy was like, you know, at work. And then like, you know, I get home and then she would come over, or she'd pick me up from work or something. So one night, one of my friends says, "You want to go to the movies?" I said, "Yeah, what?" And he goes, "Let's go see Mulholland Drive." And I said, "Okay, that's fine." So then she's like, "What time are you coming over?" I said, "Or what time am I coming over?" I go, "You're not coming over because I'm going out to the movies." "Oh, I want to come." I'm like,
Oh God.
and I'm like, I go, "You're
Give me
not
some
gonna like,"
Brandon
and I'm
Road.
like, you're not gonna like it," And she's like, she goes, how do you know? And I said, "Just trust me, you're not gonna like it." So, but she still insisted. So I had to tell my friend, "Hey, she's coming along," and he's like, "Okay."
She's
He's
going
like,
along.
he's like, fuck, he's like, "Okay." So then Johnny Johnny's like, "Wow, you dated my ex, sweet Jeebus," so so we go to the movie, man, and then we get out of there, and she's like all pissed off, and she's just like, she goes, "I can't believe you made me watch that movie." I was like, "I didn't make you do anything." And she's like, "I know why you wanted to go, because you just, the two of you just wanted to see all that lesbian stuff." I'm like, "The fuck are you talking about?" I said,
Yeah.
"I didn't even know what the movie was about. I went to go see it because it has, it's a David Lynch movie, and stuff." I'm like, "What do you, I was like, this is ridiculous,
Like, could you imagine though? Like, I don't care how much you like girl on girl. Like, could you imagine going to a movie that's 2 hours and like 40 minutes long just to see this quick dyke out scene? Like, I mean, the scene's nice. I ain't gonna lie, it's a nice scene with Naomi Watts and I forget the other girl's name, but it's not worth sitting through all that time to be like, "Yeah, we're finally at this scene now. Why I came here?"
It was just like, holy shit, it's like, damn, what did I do to deserve this, stuff,
Yeah, that sucks. So you're doing everything possible not to hurt the person's feelings, but it's like, fuck, I can't go anywhere without you.
Gary Boozy, and also, Gary Koki too, it's like,
Very doozy.
Patricia Arquette, yes indeed.
No,
So
Patricia Arquette though, in that Tales from the Crypt episode, when she's like making out with that scarecrow, man, she is hot as shit in that episode. Man, I think it's called Four-Sided Triangle. Man.
so, so we have Larry the Horror Cat Dad, and he said, "Did we decide on Empire?" Actually, nobody has said anything else except Gizmo. He said there's only 3 movies that were made, and they're in the 70s, or whatever he said,
I didn't know we were already like taking requests.
No, we
or
don't.
whatever, but,
No, we don't have to. He just said that, when I mentioned it on the thumbnail, the community post, I said we're gonna vote, and he went ahead and said that Empire for him, and I said noted. So I don't know. We're having a good time either way. See, I love these off the cuff like ones that we're doing, because I feel like I'm drunk and I'm not. Juno
kind of get
strikes.
that it's like that energized sobriety delusional feel, I guess you could say.
Right. Hey, Anthony. Anthony says, "How are you, buddy? By the way, how was your birthday? Just shout you out on your birthday," or something like that. And he kind of
Yeah, what's up there, Anthony? I saw the video. I replied to it, the video you made, but thank you very much for the birthday wishes, bro. I had a pretty good weekend overall, and yeah, Larry's here too. What's up, Larry from the Horror Cat Dad? Hope you're having a good week so far. Well, yeah, thank you guys very much again. I do appreciate it.
Juno Strikes Back and Return of the Juno. There are a couple of those.
Oh, God. Yeah, there you go, Johnny. There's plenty of ideas to ride with there, man. Got a couple more weeks there till Star Wars Day. Like, I don't even know if Juno really is a big Star Wars fan. Like, I know he's not like a big Star Wars fan like I am, but I think he does like the movies, but I don't think he's like as as into it as most people are. But I grew up on those movies. Without Star Wars, I probably wouldn't be into movies and cinema like I am today, honestly.
Right.
Like the one movie that like really terrified me and scared me when I was a kid was really Jaws. Like it's really the first movie where I was like introduced to being scared while watching a movie. And after that I started exploring the horror genre more. And what actually got me into Star Wars first was really the toys, the Kenner toys from the 80s. That's what
Right.
drew me into it first. And then I started catching the stuff on TV and had an opportunity to tape the stuff off of the TV too. And I started watching the movies, and I couldn't tell you how many times as a kid I put on Return of the Jedi just to watch the Jabba's Palace segment there, like the 20-minute opening there, where like it's like
Mhm.
that and the Sarlacc pit. Like, I mean, as much as I love the entire movie, like with Return of the Jedi, but I feel like soon as like they blow up Jabba and everything, and they fly off into the galaxy, you can just roll the you can just roll the credits right there. You're like, all right, that's it. Return of the Jedi is over in 20 minutes. But yeah,
Chester
man. Star Wars, though, overall has always been a big franchise for me. I'm not too big on the new movies. I try to give the newer stuff a shot, but it just is what it is. But those first three films there, what started, the Skywalker saga. That's what really opened me up more to more movies and all types of things out there.
Larry says Raiders of the Lost Juno.
Yeah, Juno's a big fan of Indiana Jones, though. I know that.
But Chester has a question. It says, "Are you into Alfred Hitchcock horror movies? The only one he likes is Psycho." But I mean, yeah, I like The Birds. Russell agrees with me, but two Russells don't make it right. But
Yeah, I wouldn't really consider myself the biggest Hitchcock fan. Like I do like Psycho. Yeah, I do like The Birds. Like I guess you could say I'm kind of cliche when it comes to liking his stuff, but I'm more of a Vincent Price person. Like that's what I grew up with. When like finding Vincent Price films on TV and the Christopher Lee stuff too. Yeah, but mostly Vincent Price. Like that's what I relied on growing up with horror movies. But yeah, I mean, I didn't really, discover. I mean, like I always knew what Psycho was when I was a kid. I didn't see it until I was in high school, though. And I actually saw Psycho 2 before I saw the original Psycho, because when I was a kid, I found Psycho 2 on TV.
that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of times where like I would see a second movie before the original one, because if that's what I found on TV when I was a kid, then yeah, that's what I was watching. But I see Corey's here from Wilkie's Movies and Music. What's up, Corey?
And then Dirk says to check out Frenzy. I saw it long time ago, but I have to rewatch it.
Is that a shark movie?
No, I mean there probably is one, probably several that are called that.
Okay.
But no, that was Hitchcock's last film. It was called Frenzy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know I definitely have Psycho and The Birds in my collection. I think I might have another one, North by Northwest. I think
Yeah.
that one. I might have Rear Window too. Is that what
That's
it's called?
That's going like I think it's 65 years old, North by Northwest
Wow.
this year. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anthony, I saw part of your interview with Cheetah. I'll have to watch the whole thing, but yeah, I saw a little bit of it yesterday.
But Texas, I guess you're a fan of Star Wars though? Like I don't think I ever like asked you that, and like I just don't know if you like Star Wars or not.
The middle three movies pretty much. I mean, once Phantom Anus happened, that was a downer for me,
Yeah.
And then I mean, I don't know. like it's weird. I mean, a lot of people don't like those last ones, but I mean, I kind of like them better than the first trilogy, though. I don't know, but that's what he gets for selling his shit to Disney, man, and not directing any of the others. You know, he should have went back to directing, but he's as nuts as Cameron is now. You know.
Yeah, it's, eventually he sold out, but like I feel like in a way he got to that point where he had the right to do it, like because I remember when he almost lost control of his first, the first Star Wars movie, and he decided to, start saving up as much money as possible. And that's when he created his own, the Lucasfilm Limited company.
Right.
And he's like, I'm never gonna go through what I went through with the first Star Wars film ever again. No one's ever gonna take my work off of me. But years later, he obviously sold everything. But I feel like he put the work in to kind of have that right. But I feel like, I'm sure he's probably looking at things in hindsight and going, "Fuck, I should not have sold that shit, or I should have sold it for more." Because I think he sold it for like $4 billion or something like that to Disney. I think they bought it for like $4 billion or something like that, if I remember correctly.
They should have, he should have collaborated with Cameron on like a Star Wars Titanic, where you could have had like them all come down there and just fucking decimate everybody on that fucking ship, and stuff. And then everybody else would be like, "What are these flying things? Oh my God, what is this?" As they're being slaughtered,
Or maybe we could, like, how like in the Rise of Skywalker, suddenly people can walk around in space without a helmet on, they can breathe fine. Well, maybe like as they collaborate with Titanic, all the people that drowned in the ocean, they can actually breathe underwater, so they're actually fine. Everyone, nobody dies. It's going to be a full 100% rescue here. Star Wars ships, X-wings coming in, saving people out of the fucking water. But hey, just because everybody can breathe in space, it means everybody can breathe underwater, right?
Exactly.
I don't know. See, that's another thing with the new Star Wars too. Like in The Last Jedi, what happened with Princess Leia when she got shot out there was like an explosion on her ship and she got shot out into space, and suddenly she's like, "Nope, I'm okay. I'm gonna go back into that ship now." I was like, "What? Come on,
man." Johnny says you need to direct movies,
Honestly, no, you don't want me directing a movie. I want to know the first thing what to do, man. I'd be yelling at people all day, probably. Yelling at people while being wrong. There you go. That's my experience right there directing.
Just shut up.
I can't think.
Oh man.
I sent Juno the link. I guess he's having trouble.
Nothing's popped up yet, so
You know what? Keep checking backstage though. Keep checking, because sometimes people will be back there and there's no notification. Like that's happened to me before.
No.
Just never. Like that happened to you one time, actually.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, where's he at? I want to get this started." And you've been backstage the whole time, and I got no notification.
Stanley Kubrick says Zodiac. That's pretty good.
Stanley Kubrick. That sounds like Stanley Kubrick. It does sound like some fucking like art house bullshit name or something. Like
there was this one movie. I'm totally gonna butcher the title, but it was something like Finding Kubrick or something, where it's like there are all these people trying to find him. It was a weird movie because it was about like these like this guy's in a nut house and he says he's Stanley Kubrick, and then they actually had the director Ken Russell and a couple of other directors. They're all sitting they're like laying in bed in this room, and this guy goes, the one guy that says he's Stanley Kubrick, he goes, "I'm Stanley Kubrick," and then they're all like laying there or sitting there, and then they go, "Oh, I'm Stanley Kubrick." "No, I'm Stanley Kubrick." So there's all these three guys are saying that there's Stanley Kubrick and shit.
Oh man. So if you want to move that Over the Edge watch party to your channel for next month, we'll get that over on your channel or whatever. But if you have anything else you have in mind that you want to do a stream for, just let me know.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, we can definitely do that, and I'm just thinking, let's just we should do Empire, because she's not here, and I mean, I don't know. Like, I figured she'd do something.
Like I told you, I can watch almost any of them, really. Like even the bad ones, I can watch them. But yeah, like you don't have to pull my teeth to get me to watch Empire.
Oh, speak of the devil, she just messaged me.
I'm listening to you. Yo, I heard that Target is going to be cutting down on their physical media. Remember I sent you that link, Russell?
Yeah.
So who knows when that's going to go into effect, but apparently Target is cutting back on movies. I mean, at this point, like 95% of my purchases are online already, so it's like not like some tragic news to me, but it's just the fact that it's happening to another store. It's like, what the fuck, man? I don't know. Eventually, you're not going to be able to buy anything in the wild besides flea markets, which is like, that's pretty much my situation, and it's the only way I can find something in person is at a flea market now. Which, speaking of which, it's almost flea market season. Like, technically it is already, but like I don't really start going to the flea markets until like May, June, somewhere around there.
It's just so weird.
Yeah, I mean, I can easily watch Empire though. I think it's like a 2-hour movie. So, what day is the 4th on? 4th is... Where's my fucking calendar? Okay, apparently I don't have a calendar on here for some reason. There it is.
She said she was at doctor's appointments, probably taking her and the kid and her mom. They were all probably having doctor's appointments.
Okay, so
he didn't know that, but I just thought I'd share.
Oh god.
I'm just kidding. It's like, what the fuck is he talking about? Who the fuck cares? He sucks. Let's kill him. Okay.
The 4th is on a Saturday. So, I don't know whose channel we're doing it on. It doesn't matter to me.
Well, I can do it on mine, or whatever you want to do. I am, me. I'm totally open to whatever.
All right, we'll figure it out like the next day or two. We'll settle on where that's gonna go, and I guess we're doing Empire, so yeah, that'll be Saturday. So I just gotta move like one thing around on my schedule, which is not a problem. I'm just trying to avoid having everyday streams anymore. Like I really don't like streaming back to back anymore. I'm getting like worn out.
I get you.
Sometimes I bury myself, and next show I'm like, damn, I'm streaming for the next 4 days. Here we go.
Dirk says something. We have Bonnie and Clyde trade days in Arcadia where they got shot up. I think I've been by Arcadia like once when I was a kid.
Well.
Rosalia says that she finds decent DVDs at thrift stores, which is always a plus. Thumbs up.
Like occasionally I go into my thrift stores, but like there's like barely anything. There's always a bunch of CDs. There's like some movies, but like I don't know. It just seems like they never get like newer stuff in, I guess. But I probably should check them a little bit more often. But it just seems like every time I go, it's just like a waste of time.
Johnny says, Rosalia, I wonder if the Blue Oyster is still open. Corey's still here. I didn't chase him out. Normally I think, sometimes he's scared of me and he's like, oh no, I'm just kidding, Corey. I love you, man. You know I do. So it's all good.
Yeah.
We
Sean
want
420 here. What's up, Sean
Oh,
420? I mean, I hope he had a good 420.
Yeah, I would hope. I just said hi to you and Sean 420 at the same time. I'm so used to always saying hi to you and somebody else's, stream.
Yeah. No, technically he wins because he spells his name right. I don't.
Well, that's what I always tell people that spell Russell with just like one S and one L. I'm like, you suck. It's like it's two S's and two fucking L's.
I've never seen it spelled any other way. I've only seen Russell like the one way. That's it. I've never seen one L, one S. It's only two S and two L. Yeah, you know how people are. They have a kid and their kid's so unique compared to everybody else. So his name's got to be spelled different.
Well, it's like my mother's name was Claire and it was CLAIRE. But then, like people that spelled it CLARE, she hated that. She was just like, oh no, that's the improper way to spell it.
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't know, like, I find it annoying sometimes when like people they're just like they can't figure out how my name is. I'm like, you haven't heard somebody called Sean with that spelling? Like I just I don't know, like there's been time, like I remember when I was in elementary school, there was a couple years where I was in a classroom where it was like me and 4 other Seans, and it got so bad that we actually had to go by middle names. Like it got that crazy over the years for me. Like, damn, we got 5 Seans in this fucking room, and they all spell it the same way, so we had to start going by middle names and shit.
See, Russell even spells his right, so I mean, he knows what's up. Anybody ever call you Scene?
Oh my god, yeah, like legit.
Yeah.
Like, wow, you fucked that up. See, that's what I get, but like, it doesn't bother me because it is kind of understandable because my name is like completely spelled wrong. It's that fucking Irish bullshit, That's apparently that's the Irish way to spell it, is SEAN. So
Dirk said he had a customer get mad at him the other day, expecting me to text her last name Lisa, Lesa, and he said I said Lisa. And then Rosalia says her name gets so many versions.
But Chris C is asking, have you seen a horror movie called The Sentinel? Dude, you know what's funny? You know what actually motivated me to see that movie was The Burbs. I saw The Burbs at a young age, and then when Corey Feldman's like, hey, you guys ever see that movie, The Sentinel, about the lady in the apartment building that lives on top of the gates of hell or whatever? And like, when I first saw The Burbs, the way he was explaining it, I was like, ooh, I gotta see that. And eventually I saw it just based on that. And it's a creepy ass movie, man. It really is. It's like another possession movie, I guess you could say, but it's a good one. It's got Chris Sarandon in it. I think it's actually an early role from Christopher Walken's in it too. He plays like a minor role throughout it.
Yeah, I saw it years and years ago. I think, probably when it came out or the first time it was ever shown on TV, but that needs a rewatch. Corey says his name is spelled so many different ways.
Yeah,
Juno.
Corey could definitely have a few different spellings for that, that's for sure.
And Johnny, Juno equals Juno on Earth and everywhere else.
Next, you know it, we're gonna have you'll see on TV. There's like a David Attenborough fucking segment where he's just narrating Juno's life. Is that his name? David Attenborough, that guy?
Yeah,
Or
yeah, you
Richard
got it right.
Attenborough? Something? You know, that
And
guy
then
that's got that real distinct voice for like nature and everything.
the gorgeous Moonbeam is in the house now.
Hey, what's up, Moonbeam? Thank you for joining us.
Chris says
Yeah,
he-
Jim's movie channel's here. He's like, sounds like you guys are talking about the Sentinel. What's up, Jim? Yeah, we were just talking about that one.
Oh,
Yeah,
I didn't know.
Beverly D'Angelo. Oh man, what a creeper
Oh.
she is in that movie, man.
I forgot
about
that she was in that, and I've always had a thing for her. I mean, what? I'm not. Oh yeah, I forgot Moonbeam's in here. No, I didn't really forget. I just shouldn't have said that.
No, that's just your way of proving that you're not gay. All right, it's all right, man.
No, but Beverly D'Angelo, well, she asked me one time about, I think Juno's here. Hold on. Yeah, here we go. That
Texas.
hey brother.
Huh?
That
Hey, what's up,
she likes
Juno?
Tom Hardy, so it's like, it's like an even keel, So there we go.
I like Tom Hardy. I mean, not like that, but I like him as an actor.
Welcome to Jurassic.
That's like one thing as a dude. Like when you talk about like another guy like that, you always have to be like, as a, you gotta really explain yourself. Women don't have to do that. Just guys have to.
That's just like when that Black Widow movie came out, and I was with this one friend of mine, and there was some scene, and she says to me, "I saw you looking at her ass," and I'm like, we're in an IMAX theater. It's kind of not impossible to not see it.
Right. She's got like a 360 view of it. Where else are you supposed to be looking?
Rosalia says, "Welcome to Jurassic Park, Attenborough."
Yeah.
How you guys doing?
Pretty good, man. How you doing, Juno?
Sorry, my fuck up. I didn't know you guys were live. I thought it was at 7 o'clock. I fucked up by accident because I was charging my phone, and I set my alarm for 7. I'm like, oh shit.
No, it's all good, man.
When just the other day we said, if we go at the regular time, it would be 7 or 6, and you go, yeah, 6 is better for me. So look at you.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it's all good, man.
No, it's fine.
Yeah, it's all good, man. It's just a hangout stream anyway. You're not missing anything. Like
we're gonna be here for like 2 hours and a half. We're gonna be here for like 2 hours and a half at least.
Yeah, about probably like 2.5 hours, something like that. Yeah, so we got like an hour and a half left here.
If I don't go into an adrenaline coma.
Yeah.
I saw 3 movies that I enjoyed this past week.
What was that?
Of course, it was Monkey Man that I mentioned, and then second was the Late Night with Devil movie. I really enjoyed that one.
That's good to hear, man. I watched it a night or two ago. I watched it on Look Movie, but yeah, I enjoyed it too. I ended up giving it a 7 out of 10. I didn't really like overanalyze anything with it. I just enjoyed that it did something a little bit different with the possession subgenre. I mean, besides some questionable CGI and some AI enhancement, besides that stuff, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, because I heard the controversy was the AI bullshit on the poster or some shit.
There's just some scenes where it's like, ooh, man, you watching a video game here? And like, what's going? It's just, but they're quick scenes, And another thing is, with today's standards, with effects, I feel like you kind of have to get used to these. You kind of have to get used to CGI because that's just the way new films are made nowadays. And
at least it's more watchable than that piece of shit Roadhouse remake, which in a fist fighting fucking movie. I'm like, you're putting in a fist fighting movie with CGI. That's get the fuck out with that. I'm like, that is just some bullshit. Like, I'm surprised they didn't add
Yeah.
the fucker at all.
Yeah, it's hard to say if I'll get around the Roadhouse, but you know, like besides the small issues I had with Late Night with the Devil, I still
Johnny.
was able to I was still able to give it a 7 out of 10. I liked what it did.
Yeah, it was really good. But yeah, do you know if you could be any character in Star Wars movies, who would you be? I would be Boba Fett, just silence and badass.
Yeah.
Juno Fett, is that who you'd be?
Juno Fett,
Yeah.
Juno Fett. Oh man.
where he goes like,
Juno Fett, here comes the
holding his arm.
That would be killer as hell, you know.
pain.
It sucks that that character didn't last long in the movie. Like, I don't know why they killed him off.
Well, I mean, I've gone over it before, but one of the reasons why he's not focused on in the movies is because when he was wrote in, like he was kind of like a replacement thing. Like they were supposed to be, like Boba Fett wasn't supposed to be a bounty hunter. There was supposed to be him and a whole squad of other people that wore Mandalorian gear. They weren't able to afford all that with the budget, so they got rid of that. And then they figured out the bounty hunting thing later on, and that's when they took him and put him in there. But then after Empire Strikes Back, George Lucas saw how popular the character was, and he didn't like that it was getting away from Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker. So he was like, all right, we're going to get rid of this character right away in the next movie. So we can't focus on him anymore. But that's why he gets an unfair death in the Sarlacc pit.
That's some bullshit right there.
Yeah.
It is. 'Cause, like, you know what, though? George Lucas even says, I regret doing that because I did see how much people liked the character, but I just wasn't able to appreciate the fans' love for the character. And I was trying to make sure that nobody was focusing on anything except for the characters that they should be focusing on.
Yeah.
But it was just the way, the look of the Mandalorian gear and the way he walked in it, his whole demeanor, and the fact that he only spoke a few words. It just had a mystique to it. It just drew people to it.
Like he was like the badass, quiet stormtrooper.
Right. And he didn't, like, I think he's got through 2 movies, I think he's got a total of 6 minutes of screen time. And I think he says about 8 words. And that's it. And he's one of the most beloved characters throughout the whole franchise.
So Moonbeam says that she wants to be a porg because they're so cute. Well, she's cute.
Yeah, those little bird things. I think Chewbacca tries eating one in like the newer movies.
Jim says, totally off topic, but does anyone like Shoot 'em Up with Cleve Owen and Paul Giamatti? I got totally baked and watched it and laughed my ass off.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one. I'm aware of it. I haven't seen it though.
I've never seen that. I don't know anything about that one.
I am aware of like what the movie is. I just haven't seen it though. But Juno, it looks like we're probably gonna watch Empire Strikes Back on May 4th on Saturday. Like, you're a fan of the. I think you're a fan of the original trilogy, right?
Yeah, I actually like the original movies more than the bullshit reboot crap that comes out. To me, I'm more like
I know you're like a fan of Star Wars in some kind of way. I just wasn't sure like what you liked about it really. So, but I mean, if you want to join us on Saturday to do a watch along for that, it looks like we're gonna watch Empire unless we change that last minute. But like, I mean, I can sit through I can sit through the crappy ones. Even I have tolerance for that shit.
Phantom Menace, that's really complete dog shit. Phantom Menace, Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah. Like, like when the first sequel trilogy or whatever, when that first came out, it took a little while to swallow those movies, but I've seen them so much now that like I don't really mind them anymore. But the only one I really like the most is Revenge of the Sith. Like that's one. Like just the way the movie opens up too. Like we're in battle right away and right in the middle of fucking space there. Like And
It's
then,
even
you know, it
dark
goes
how
right into the battle of Obi-Wan and Anakin up against Count Dooku. Like, that's just, the movie opens up so well, man.
and also it's a bit dark too.
Yeah. But I
Well,
mean,
good.
I understand where anyone's coming from having issues with anything outside of the original trilogy.
Zodiac says he'll take Phantom Anus over the Attack of the Cloves any day.
See, Attack of the Clones has potential to be good, but it's just got too much mushy love story bullshit cutting into it, and the scenes are
It
just
falls on
too
his ass
damn long.
because the movie just feels like it falls on his ass with no story.
Basic, like, I don't know, man. It's just, I just think what's there is just not very interesting for me personally. Like,
I just don't.
I do like some things about Attack of the Clones, but if looking at it, you know, as an entire movie, it's just not perfect.
You know, I'm sorry, everybody. You're going to have to forgive me for this, but I just don't see how Sam Jackson got such a ghetto character name, Mace Windu. You know, it's like, yeah, I'm Mace Windu, motherfucker. Fuck you. You know.
You know, apparently when he was like auditioning for the role, he was like, I only have one demand. I want to pick my lightsaber color. He's like, I
Oh
have
yeah,
to be
that's,
able.
yeah.
He's like, I have to be able to have a purple lightsaber, and they were like, all right, we think we can do that for you. And he's like, all right, that's all I want, and I'll do the role. That's all I care about is a purple lightsaber.
But I mean, that's true though. He really did like you know, ask for that. Moonbeam says opinions. Do you consider the Ewok movies Star Wars? Some do, some don't.
I'm gonna say yeah, but you know, yeah, because it's part of the '80s decade. I mean, you could, like, I even include the 1978 Christmas special, which is like dreadful for some people. Like, apparently Princess Leia, Carrie Fisher, she used to have like parties at her house, and when she wanted people to go home, she would put that on TV, and people would slowly start leaving her house. She would put on that '78 Christmas special. People would be like, "Ah, what the fuck are you putting on to get up and start leaving and shit?"
And Jim says,
But
"May the
I
force
mean,
be with."
to give you a straight answer about the Ewok movie, do I really like it? Not really, but I can tolerate watching it. It's something I grew up with, so I can tolerate it on that level. But do I really like it? Not exactly. It's not something I willingly want to revisit, but I can watch it. And I think that says more than most people, honestly, because most people are like, ugh, the Ewok movie.
So we're gonna settle for Empire Strikes Back.
Unless you
looks
guys
like
want
it.
something else, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's a 2-hour movie. It's one of the classics of the whole, you know, saga, but I
She
mean,
says
I
there's
could easily
two
watch
Ewok
that movie.
movies.
It's Empire's really up there as one of my favorite films of all time, man.
Yeah,
I was
I've
watching
seen
the
mine
Britpop
too.
shit, which I appreciate.
Yeah, you know, actually, speaking of Empire, you know who's got a small role in Empire, and you don't really see, it's hard to notice him, and that's Treat Williams.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, but apparently, when they were getting ready to do Empire Strikes Back, apparently they weren't fully set on Han Solo yet, like with Harrison Ford playing Han Solo. So they were like, all right, if he falls through, we're probably gonna have Treat Williams like filling on the role. So that ended up not falling through, and therefore Treat Williams was like, all right, since that role's taken with the Han Solo thing, he's like, is it cool if I'm just an extra in this movie? And they're like, yeah, but you're not gonna get paid. He's like, I don't care, I just want to join the experience. So he's an extra as a rebel soldier in Empire, but he's not credited in the movie. He didn't get paid for it or anything. He just did that out of his, you know, his own free will.
She said her favorite is the Ewoks Battle of Endor.
Yeah, that's the one. 1985, the Ewok movie. Yeah. And apparently, like DVD copies still go for stupid money today.
Juno and Carbonite. That's what Johnny said. Dirk says, I'd be the backhand slapping smuggler from Planet Don't Give a Fuck.
But Foxy and the Boxy is here. What's up, Foxy?
Harrison Ford was pissed off just by being there.
Probably was, dude. Dude fucking hates Star Wars, and he's like in all
Yeah,
these Star Wars movies.
He literally doesn't like the Han Solo role. He doesn't like the character, so that's why he was happy when he died off in Force Awakens, because he doesn't like the character.
Well, apparently, like, I don't know how true this is, but when they were getting ready to do The Force Awakens, he was like, all right, I will agree to do this next movie on one condition. If you kill my character in this movie. So that's why he died in this movie.
Yeah, that bullshit reboot where, let's kill off the original and save room for the new jackass characters.
You know, like with the new movies though, like I don't understand the Knights of Ren. What was the point of the Knights of Ren? All they did was stand around and look like some cool guys, I think. That was it. They just stood around. They had weapons. They never used them. They never did anything. Sometimes they got on a spaceship and went to another planet. That was it. I didn't understand that whole thing with the Knights of Ren. I did not get that at all. And the whole Wayfinder with the fucking Emperor and all that bullshit. Jesus Christ.
And then Johnny says, yo, and we almost had Eric Stoltz as Marty in Back to the Future. Yeah, I saw some of that footage that he was in.
Because most of it was filmed, but they fired him during it.
Jim says Treat Williams was awesome in everything he did, especially Prince of the City. And then
I've always enjoyed him as an actor.
He sounds like a down to earth dude. Like when Sean just explained, like, I don't give a shit about being paid. I could do it for free. Like that shows you that he actually was happy to be there. Like he gave a shit. Like he's like,
yeah. Apparently, he just wanted to be a part of the experience, and they dressed him up as a rebel soldier. But like, apparently, you can't. Like, if you really slow things down, you watch certain scenes. I think you can see his face, but you gotta like really, be slowing some scenes down, like really analyzing everything.
And look at the movie closer.
How do you get the Blair Witch pregnant? I don't know, Dirk.
I don't know if you get Pumpkinhead pregnant the Blair Witch.
Watch fucking Adam Wingard make a fucking horrible remake.
Yeah, that's a bad one.
Yeah,
all that stomping around. They relied on stomping to scare the fucking audience. Like
I still say it's aliens. It's not a witch.
Was it the Blair Witch with Adam Wingard?
Yeah, because there's that one scene towards the end, and they're all in the house, and you just see those flashing lights going. I'm like, fucking aliens,
And also, they also revealed what the Blair Witch looks like.
Yeah, that was a forgettable one right there.
Chris says he liked it. Chris, you're no longer welcome here. I'm just kidding. Nobody freak out. Which tons of anyway.
But like, I don't know. Like, if somebody was forcing me to watch, which one would I watch? The 2016 movie or the sequel, Book of Secrets, or whatever the hell that
Book of Shadows? Man, that's a bad one too. I know people. People like that movie too. But
there's a debate like which one would I be forced to watch.
Wait. So Book of Shadows or the 2016 one? Fuck.
Because they're both.
Book of Shadows. Actually, I would probably go with Book of Shadows. Like that 2016 movie. It's really fucking bad.
I've never ever seen Book of Shadows because everybody told me it was so bad. So it's like when somebody, multiple people tell me it's bad, then I won't see it. That's why, like,
Yeah.
when like as the Saw movies, the first one I ever saw was number 2 because the first one I had too many mixed opinions on it. People were like, "Yeah, it's really good," and then others were like, "Oh, that movie fucking sucks." So I'm like, "Well, I guess I'm just not gonna see it." And then when the second one came out, I read this review in like a local paper, and the review was just perfect. It was like it wasn't necessarily for it, and it wasn't necessarily like against it, but they said that it was good. They said, check it out. There's not a lot of well-known actors, except for Donnie Wahlberg, was in it or whatever, and whatnot. And they said you're not missing anything by not seeing the first one. And so I was like, okay, that's good enough for me. So then I went and saw it, and I was like, oh, this is good. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember seeing the first Soul in the theater, and I went with like a crew of people, and what I saw off the trailer just didn't really look interesting to me. And everybody I went with was, they didn't really seem like they were too excited for it. It was really just a night out to do something. And then once the movie got started, that's when I started getting into it, and then leading all the way up to that, that final scene and everything, how unexpected that was. Really just, just how unpredictable the finale was of Saul was just, I did not see that coming, and I was in shock with it. But when I went back and first rewatched it, I was like, it doesn't hit like it does on the first watch, but it's still a good movie. Like, I can see this is still a good movie here,
I think,
You still gotta watch the rest on it.
I've only gotten up to Soul 3, man. I don't know if I'll get beyond that. Like, I didn't mind Soul, like Soul 2. I enjoyed it a lot more this time around. Soul 3 was decent, but it's gonna be a lot to sit through 4, man.
Yeah. Continue, Texas.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that I think there needs to finally be a fucking buddy comedy with Danny DeVito and Warwick Davis.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll pay $30 to see that motherfucker than see the Crow remake.
Just see Warwick Davis and Danny DeVito in a buddy comedy,
And it has to be R-rated with strong language.
But also, Russell has to play the police chief in it too.
Police chief. Or we can get get those 3, but get we get Peter Dinklage in there. We'll get Peter Dinklage, and we'll have those 3 remaking Jaws. So we'll have have those 3 taking over the roles of Quint, the chief, the police chief, and Matt. What's the other one? Matt Hooper, whatever his name is.
But see, I was thinking of 3 people, but then I was like, can't do Vern Troyer because he's dead. So, so I'm like, fuck. So that's actually like perfect,
Like, get those 3, the remake Jaws. So you got 3 small guys trying to kill this big shark.
That would be awesome. I would definitely pay.
Yeah, I'd watch it.
Yeah, Wee Man could be in it also. That would be good.
Man.
And then you could set up a sequel where there's like a bunch of Oompa Loompas from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. They're the reason why the shark gets killed, and they come back in the next one, and the revenge plot lives on. Yeah, Peter Dinklage playing Quint. What do you got there? A portable shower or a monkey cage? Anti-shark cage.
Jim says Tom Cruise ain't much taller than those other guys.
Those guys are more taller than him.
Johnny Knoxville and Oompa Loompas. That's what Johnny says. Favorite Christopher Lee performance? I don't remember him being in performance. I thought Mick Jagger was in that. I'm just kidding. Nobody knows what I'm talking about. What? Who? Who's Mick Jagger?
Christopher Lee performance. That's not an easy one, man.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm trying to think.
I mean, him as Lord Summerisle in The Wicker Man, though, like, that's a pretty unique one. Like, I mean, just to kind of step away from his, he's done so many Dracula movies and stuff, like,
I did.
but
I like.
I don't see a lot of people really pick that role, the Lord Summerisle role of The Wicker Man, but I like him in that. He's fucking batshit crazy and out of his damn mind. Like, even when, like, when they're getting ready to put the guy in the Wicker Man and everything, you can still see how delusional and convinced he is that killing this guy is going to make his crops grow. It's just like, nah, dude.
I did like them in what's it? That train movie. That's a slasher film.
Oh,
What's the
fucking
hell
that
that
movie?
called?
Oh, Horror Express.
Horror Express. Yes, but also Peter Cushing. Like, but I like Christopher Lee's performance, and that's the lead character in that one. He's
Jim
pretty good.
Yeah.
Jim says his favorite Christopher Lee performance is when he played a gay biker in a comedy called Serial. I love Serial. Not a lot of people know about that one, and that's got Stacey
Yeah.
Nelkin in it.
I've
Stacey
never
Nelkin.
seen that one.
Oof. She's just, in that one.
But
Martin
folks,
Mull's in that and stuff.
yeah, Christopher Lee did some questionable movies, especially that fucking Howling movie.
Yeah, your sister is a werewolf. His paycheck must have been right, man.
Yeah, must have been a big payday.
He does have a minor role in Sleepy Hollow where he's playing the judge.
Yeah, because he did appear in a few Tim Burton movies.
Yes. But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna go with the Lord Summerisle character of the Wicker Man. Like, I mean, just that movie alone's a big one for me. So, just like, I mean, if I weren't to pick that, if I wasn't gonna pick that one, I would probably say like Prince of Darkness, which is, it's one of his. I guess it is one of his better Dracula films. But I know he's done so many. I haven't even caught up with all of them.
And Dirk says he is right, though. Still hasn't been an accurate Bram Stoker's Dracula. And Moonbeam, she said she has to go, but she might be back. So,
All right, that's fine. Take care.
your sister's a werewolf, and we're going to show her tits 10 consecutive times during the last 30 seconds of the movie.
It's fine with me, man. I got a reason to watch that.
Guys, did you ever see the Howling sequels, Texas?
Tried not to.
Yeah, those are rough, man.
That's actually a franchise where actually the only movie that's worth a shit is the first movie, and the sequels are just fucking bad. Especially Part 4. That's just.
That's the only one I have in my collection is the Joe Dante film. I don't have any of the other ones.
But yeah, never waste your time watching the fourth one. That's just a boring piece of shit. Like it's like the same shot to shot remake of the first one, but like a shitty budget with shitty cheap ass werewolf effects that looks bad.
Yeah, I know they tried doing one like years ago, like maybe 2017. I think it was called The Howling Reborn. I remember seeing the trailer and just being like, fucking, who the hell would think this is appealing?
Well, they're still making them and even making more Show of the Corn fucking movies.
Yeah, they're just milking that shit, man. That's just, I don't know. It just also makes you wonder, like, who the hell is investing into these projects?
Even
And being like,
even
yeah,
the
great
Amityville,
idea. Here's a fucking couple grand. Take it.
even the Amityville movies keep fucking continuing. Like, there's Amityville in the Hood. Like, what the fuck is that? Amityville in the Hood.
Yeah, Amityville really is all over the damn place.
Zodiac says, I don't know if it's his best performance, but I really like 3,000 Miles at Graceland with Kurt Russell. I mean, I've been a Kurt Russell mark since I was a kid because I saw all the Disney movies when I was a kid. And one of my all-time favorite movies is Barefoot Executive. And it's not that, cheap piece of shit, Kirk Cameron, the remake. That I mean, I was like, no, why, kind of thing. We've hit a nerve with Jason. He's like, excuse me, The Howling 3, the marsupials, Aussie horror. So he's a very angry man. No, I'm just kidding. I want to see, like, he says, Chris mentions The Thing and Escape from New York, but I think it's about time we have Escape from New Haven. I think that's what we. Jim's
I'll be
gotta
right
go.
back.
So, all right. See you later, Jim. Have a good night, brother.
Yeah, Jim.
All right, take care, Jim. Thanks for stopping by. Have a good week, bro. I'll be right back.
Chester likes Escape from New York, The Thing, and Big Trouble in Little China. All three of those are masterpieces.
Did you, I finally got to see Abigail, Texas.
Holy shit! What did you think?
Stay right there. I fucking enjoyed it.
I knew you would, brother. That's some.
The only cons that I would say the movie has, like when you mentioned the twists and turns, there's a lot of fucking twists and turns that they could have calmed down on, like because there's a lot of twists and turns. But all in all, it wasn't a piece of shit. It delivered a bloody finale that I fucking enjoyed.
Yeah, there was a lot
this is
of
a
fucking blood
movie
in that
that I was waiting for Universal to make. After seeing disaster shit like Night Swim from fucking Universal and Blumhouse, I'm finally happy that Universal came out with something fucking entertaining.
Yeah, I mean, I was so surprised, but I mean, I was blown away. I mean, I was just like, I want to see it because it just looked good, but I thought, well, hopefully I'm not let down, and it did. It delivered like
the
a lot.
lead girl. The lead girl, I actually thought she was better here than the shitty Scream movie that she was in. Yeah, so the acting wasn't, the cast weren't that bad, and the blood, the carnage and the gore were not that bad. They were awesome.
Dirk says Blumpkin house.
Blumpkin.
Yeah, Blumpkin.
Yeah,
so far, I think the four top movies that I've seen that I really like this year, Snack Shack, Late Night with the Devil, Monkey Man, and Abigail so far. So,
yeah, those are really good ones. But for me, Spaceman. I'm gonna mention Thanksgiving because it was the first time seeing Thanksgiving in January because I missed it out. So I'm gonna count it as a 2024 movie. But Thanksgiving was good. Monkey Man was good. Abigail was a big surprise. I did enjoy that one.
Yeah, I think so far with movies this year, I know for me, my favorite one so far is definitely Doom Part 2. That's my favorite thing that I've seen so far, but I guess I would put Late Night with the Devil at second. And
yep.
Honestly, you know what was actually good, but I don't know if I consider it this year? You know what? This came out in December, but that movie that came on Netflix, it's a Netflix movie called Society of the Snow, which is the same story of the rugby team from that movie Alive from '93, the plane crash.
Yeah.
But this was way better than that. Apparently it's more accurate too, but like, I don't know. I just like, I mean, I still like the original '93 film Alive. Like, I still think that's good in its own right, but this just told the story a little bit better. It was longer. It just focused on things a little bit more, but I was really surprised with that Netflix movie, Society of the Snow. But that's technically because that came out in December, actually, last year.
Like, if you see, like, I mentioned Thanksgiving. I saw Thanksgiving this year, and that's a 2023 movie. So you could count it as a 2024 movie, like, that you watched this year.
Yeah, you could, because like the Blu-ray didn't even come out to this year, I think, too. So yeah, you could. But I mean, I kind of put that in last year's, so that's why I didn't really mention it for this one. But I would, yeah, Thanksgiving was definitely one of the better films, I think, from last year. But you know, it's unfortunate in the past few years as I go through newer movies, I'm always like, you know, I like this movie and I like that movie, which is, you know, when you look at everything that's come out, it's like it's not really a whole lot to write home about anyway. But you know, it's I don't know, new movies nowadays. It's really hard to find something that's just gonna, you know, get better with age and become a classic. Because I mean, like you know, the first two Halloween movies that came out. Like I thought those movies were gonna actually age pretty well. I thought I was gonna end up liking them a little bit more as time went on. Now I'm starting to distance myself further away from them. I don't really like those movies now.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, I got to review the 2018 film. But continue, Texas.
Johnny's taking off. Just wanted to say good night, Johnny, and stuff and whatnot.
Good night, Johnny.
Oh, Dirk
Yeah.
mentioned Trash Humpers. I love that movie. You know, well, I won't say love, but it's good.
Yeah, take care, Johnny. Thanks for stopping by. Have a good week, bro.
If we showed Trash Humpers in a watch party, we'd have to show Gummo as a watch party too. I'm not gonna do any Harmony Korine without showing. You know,
I mean, if we
Gummo.
do a watch party for Gummo without showing any clips, like, you know, that's probably the only way you can get through it. Can you imagine trying to show like any clips from that movie? Jesus Christ, you're gonna get a flag.
But like Trash Humpers has that lovely little Three Little Devils. You know, that's such a fantastic song.
You know, I'm pretty sure I've never seen Trash Humpers.
Oh man, it's just like it's good though. This one ex of mine, you know, she's like, "What are we watching?" And I'm like, how the hell do I know? Because I hadn't seen it, you know. And I said, "It's just called Trash Humpers," and she's just, "This is weird." And I said,
Oh,
"Yeah."
wow,
And
this
I
does
said, "It's
look
not like you
strange.
haven't watched anything weird before," you know. And then she's like still watching it, and she's like, "Yeah, this is good. I like this."
Actually, yo, I gotta see this now. Harmony Korine and like what the shit I'm seeing right here is like I gotta see this. Horror comedy or something? Or black comedy.
It's way better than that stupid Spring Breakers. Oh God.
Yeah, I would imagine. But this looks like the type of movie where you like, you know, you smoke some really good weed and just sit down and shut your brain off and just fucking do whatever with it, I guess. See, that's what I would do. Is to like sit down and watch a movie like this willingly. I would be like, all right, I gotta roll a joint for this. Like, you know, it's the only way I'm gonna get through this.
I wish he would have put out that one. You know, Harmony Korine was doing this one movie where he was actually going up to people on the street and picking fights with people, and he got his ass beat like 3 times really badly. And so after that, he just kind of stopped. And I wish he would have just taken that and made something else around it, but kept the footage and put that in the movie. Oh, Jason, I that's up to you, brother. I'm not going to tell you not to see it, but I can't stand Spring Breakers. I thought James Franco was totally like overboard in it, and it just was. It was cringe because it was kind of like.
But like, it's really like it's something that's not like the usual shit that you see from Harmony Korine. So that's another thing. It's just as you're watching it, like I did not feel like I was watching one of his movies, watching it the whole time. And
yeah,
that's one of the things that kind of threw me off with it right away. And then what we actually get in the movies, like, okay, anyway, you know, like I don't know. I just found it to be forgettable.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely, it was almost like a sellout. But I totally agree with that assessment. It just didn't feel like a Harmony Korine movie whatsoever.
But I mean,
I
I
mean,
like almost everything else from the guy. So
I mean, like, I don't usually like, movies where like people are just constantly yelling at each other. Like, that's what I thought Possession was like. That's why I don't like it.
Oh,
But
Jesus Christ. That's what they did with Bodies. That's why I hate that motherfucker movie. For
but I
2 fucking
like
hours.
I
Yeah.
like Julian Donkey Boy though. I thought that was great, and especially since he had Herzog in it, and Herzog was just like this, played this mentally like you know
Yeah.
distraught like father, and it was just like what the fuck, but it was
No.
great.
But you don't like the movie. You agree, Texas? You don't like the movies where they just argue for a long time. That shit gets annoying.
Yeah, I mean, it just takes away, from stuff. I remember there's a movie with
Yeah.
Albert Finney and Diane Keaton called Shoot the Moon, and it was just basically about this couple, and their marital problems, and they spend the whole time just fucking like, breaking dishes and yelling at each other and shit. And I'm like, fuck, man, if I wanted to watch this shit, I could just watch my mom and stepdad yell at each other.
Yeah. None of this bullshit.
I mean,
What's
it's to me like I mean, I get what you're saying with that, but that's human interaction. You know, people arguing is pretty normal, but when it takes up a long time, after a while, it's like fuck.
Yeah.
I can understand that. But I
'Cause
mean,
know
you kind of
guys-
need stuff like that sometimes. Like, I mean, especially when you got like a husband and a wife, significant others. Eventually, they're going to be butting heads over something.
you never seen Bodies. A24's Bodies, Sean, right?
the
Oh
bodies,
no,
bodies, that
I
one?
haven't heard one good thing about it, so I was like, I'm not going to watch it.
This is how I feel about it. Fuck the movie up its motherfucking ass. For 2
So,
hours, they're just bitching and yelling at each other and turning on each other for like 2 fucking hours about bullshit. Because the movie, when it first started, I was interested because I first thought like, oh, it's gonna be an R-rated version of Clue. I was gonna like be interested in it. 5 minutes later, they're not playing the game no more. The movie then falls on his ass by them arguing and being stupid and just like turning on each other, like blaming each other for some stupid bullshit and just yelling at each other for 2 hours. Like, what the fuck is this?
like, what's the actual horror element of that movie?
Well, one of the characters, Pete Davidson, he's like the first one killed because he gets cut in the throat by the machete that he had. So they think that somebody's in on it, but they do a piss poor job because they don't like do an interesting story where you're getting the characters to like try to figure out. Instead, they're just yelling at each other and not being.
So
and
it was
it doesn't
like,
wanna- yeah, it doesn't want to be a murder mystery at all.
all right, so it's not like a supernatural horror movie or
Yeah.
something like that. Like, I hear you're saying like Clue, so yeah, I can see how that's kind of reminiscent of
'Cause
what's
I
probably
first thought
going
it was
on in it.
because that's where I first thought when I thought like, okay, they're gonna do an R-rated version of Clue because they're like doing this cat and mouse game or something like how they did in Clue. So I was like, oh, I'm interested in no the movie because when one of them gets killed and then they start bitching and cursing at each other and yelling at each other for 2 hours, like it was getting so irritating that I wanted to shut the movie off because like when the fuck is this movie gonna end? And it's like almost to the 2 hour mark for like 15 minutes left. Like, damn, nothing's
Yeah.
interesting. It's just them arguing. Like that's it. Like, and then of course they get killed because they're dumbasses in the movie because they keep arguing at each other.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't sound like it goes beyond that. It's just senseless arguing, I guess.
Because sometimes if anybody tells me like what's the worst A24 film I ever saw, I pick Bodies. Like to me, I would never see that shit ever again.
Chris wants to know our thoughts on The Ringer. Is that the Johnny Knoxville one?
Which one?
The Ringer
Or is it the Kevin Hart movie?
beats the hell out of me. I don't fucking know.
I don't think I've seen either of them. It
I've seen the
sounds
Johnny
familiar, but-
Knoxville one, but I mean,
Only
thoughts
thing
on it of what, I mean,
I don't know
guess-
what it is.
Yeah, I guess he wants to know if we've seen The Ringer and what we thought of it. But I mean, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I have like that's when Johnny Knoxville was getting popular with those kind of spin-off movies or whatever. I know he did like a Dukes of Hazzard movie or something around that time,
He
but
also did Action Park.
That was fucking great, but the thing with Action Park, though, I mean, it's based on a real amusement park. That there's a documentary that I think it's still on
Yeah.
Max, and so basically that's what that was about. Except that they weaved a story in there, but they also made it a Jackass movie with a bunch of stunts and shit. So I mean, it was good, you know, but it
There's
was just
science in
funny,
it.
you know.
But yeah, I see Woo Riders is mentioning that new series Shogun on Hulu, and yeah, I've been hearing really good things about it.
Yeah,
I
it
think it
looks good to
also
me.
it's like I think it's on Hulu, but I think it's also being aired on FX too, or maybe I could have that mixed
Yeah,
up
well,
with something else.
usually the stuff that's on FX gets shown, and then the next day it's on like Hulu and all that.
Yeah, but that they must have some kind of partnership together then, Hulu and FX. But from what I've heard, it sounds like it's an A+ show or whatever. But I mean, always something to catch up on, man. I swear to God, when I get caught up on something, there's 4 more things. Like, oh shit, this over here, forgot about that.
I,
A lot of shows.
I mean, I thought the Ringer was okay for like what it was. I mean, you know, Jason says he thought it was great, that it was a dumb, fun, heartwarming comedy. But like there was that Woody Harrelson movie last year where he like coaches this team and they all have Down syndrome and stuff. And it wasn't really as crude as like say the Ringer was, you know. I not that it was exactly toned down, but that was pretty good. I forget the name of it, you know. But I mean, I don't know. It's like now when people make movies like that with disabled people freak the fuck out, you know. It's like you're making fun of them. It's like, no, you're not making fun of them because they wouldn't be in the fucking movie if they didn't want to be. It's just that's stupid.
Right. I know. I don't know why people can't understand that concept. Like, it wasn't like these people were picked out and like, look, we picked you to be in this movie. We're gonna fucking call you all the shittiest names ever because we don't like you. Can you imagine people working like that?
Not putting it's this is great. I love you, Chester. This is great. Not putting spoilers, but have any of you guys seen the movie Abigail? Let me think about that for a second.
Yeah, Texas has seen it. But apparently it's good, man. Like like I'm probably gonna wait for the physical release, but like from what I've heard with Texas and what I'm just hearing online, I'm kind of excited right now because I don't know what to expect from it. But I just want to see it based on that.
I also saw it, Sean. I saw
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, right. I'm sorry, Juno.
Juno and I have both seen Abigail, Chester, and it's
Yeah, I
fucking
just
great.
haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, Chester, without spoiling it, you're not gonna get a bullshit ending. It's great.
Yeah.
I highly recommend it. Texas is right. He recommended a good fucking movie from Universal.
Shit, I've recommended you 2 good movies that you just went out and saw, dude. So, you know.
Yeah, because like I don't know, like I wanted to see something good, and they turned out to be really great surprise that you recommended me to check out. And thank you, Texas.
Oh, you're welcome.
But I know the new Mad Max movie. I really want to see that. Even though at this point I don't even know why we're calling it Mad Max, but I still want to see that. And I do want to see Alien Romulus in August. I really want to see that one.
I want to see Deadpool and Wolverine. They came out with the new trailer today.
Yeah,
They
that
show
looked
more
really
Hugh
good.
Jack- They show more Hugh
Man,
Jackman trailer.
And I think October is going to be pretty exciting. We're going to have Terrifier 3 and whatever else gets announced at that time.
Dirk said I recommended a stanker for him, for like Exorcist Believer, but I think you saw that before I saw that, Dirk. Either way, I don't know. I just I'm tired of that. I'm tired of it. Like everybody just hating movies on things that they like. It doesn't make any difference, you
Like,
know.
it's not a piece of shit or anything. Like, there's some questionable bullshit in it, but it's not like a piece of shit compared to like Bumhouse's Halloween, which that made me more fucking pissed and more ranting. Yep.
But
I
when's
mean,
Maxine supposed to be getting released? That's got a release date for this year, right?
yeah, I want to say July, but I'm not sure.
Let me look it up. I'm just being lazy right
It
now.
was cool. They played the trailer before Abigail started. They showed me the previews, and it was a Red Band trailer where you see the cursing in it.
All right, the release date is 4th of July weekend, July 5th.
Yeah. So here's a question for you, Juno. How many times a day do you say piece of shit?
A trillion times.
Well, there you go.
It's a piece of shit.
Until it's not shitty anymore.
The remake of Roadhouse is a piece of shit and a horse's ass.
It just doesn't even look appealing. I just know what I saw, like, you know, on Look Movie, it's like advertised all over the fucking place. And just looking at the advertisement and being like, this is not appealing at all. Like, what the fuck, man?
If you ever see it, Sean, be aware, and you'll notice the fake bullshit around it. Like, there's somebody that, like, I think it was like one of the bouncers punches a bad guy. You could see his face is not connecting the fucking guy. You could see the green screen between his fist and the guy's face.
Oh, that's fucked up.
Like that, you could see the fucking green screen, like right
like
there.
The only thing,
yeah.
Like the only thing I have interest in with Roadhouse, I actually want to know how long it took them to make the movie. Just based on how bad all that looks, I just want to, you know, find out how long it took them to make the movie, because I wouldn't be surprised if it says 3 weeks.
Because originally it was supposed to go to theaters, but Amazon said no, we'll have the movie instead. But the filmmakers wanted to go to theaters, which I bet this motherfucker would never had run money. I think this movie would have flopped easily in 2 weeks.
Yeah, actually, I think that's probably the smartest thing they did, was taking that out of the theater.
Yeah.
I don't think it would have did well either. But you never know.
Jason's asking me a question. Do I like any of the Halloween films from the 2018 and Kills? Juno? I would say the only one I like was Kills. That's the only one I like from that bullshit trilogy. Because Michael Myers is the one, he's hardcore and he kills all the dumb fucks in that movie.
I like.
I mean, Mikey, like, you actually, like, I mean, I can understand what Mikey's saying, but like you really like the idea though of the parents going, yeah, we're gonna fucking get this shit out of our children. We're gonna do it on our own. we're gonna perform the exorcisms on our own kids.
Well, I mean, that's better than, you know, the way I look at it, it's better than, you know, back in the Satanic Panic days where, you know, everybody was too afraid to like do anything for their kids, and then just let their kids, you know, put shotguns in their mouths because, you know, they blame the heavy metal music and stuff like that, you know. And it's like, well, if we would have paid more attention to our children, this would have never happened, you know.
Yeah, which is like the issue nowadays with like kids running around shooting each other, is because parents ain't fucking paying attention to their kids even doing anything with them. They're running around killing people with guns.
I mean, it's like we came home and found our son dead of a gunshot wound. He was on his bed and had his headphones on, so we called our lawyer.
You don't mind Believers? You don't mind Believers, Texas?
Oh, I did. Yeah. No, it was Dirk that didn't like it. He said that I recommended it to him and he didn't like it. But, you know, I mean, it's, you know, I don't know. To me, when I saw it, I went with a friend of mine and we went to get lunch beforehand. And, you know, we were talking to the guy that was serving us and whatever. And he says, and I said, yeah, we're killing time till we go to the movie. And he's like, what are you seeing? And I said, Exorcist Believer. And he goes, well, I haven't seen it yet, but, you know, don't believe the hype that everybody's like saying that it's, you know, really bad, you know, and stuff. And I said, no, I'm going to go in there with an open mind, you know. I didn't think it was that bad. I mean, there's certain things in it that I didn't like, but you know, it's
Like
Yeah,
the
that shit
acting
just
of that,
fell completely
the
flat
actor,
for me.
the one that was the worst actor in the movie was the white girl's dad. His acting was dog shit and laughably bad.
well,
I
I
mean, I
just
thought the black guy, the main character,
I
the
laughed.
black guy, I thought he did fairly good with all the bullshit that was surrounded by him.
right.
I
He's
mean,
the better
all the
actor in
bullshit
the
that was
movie.
surrounding him, like for what he had to work with, I thought he did a fairly good job with
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
The movie, like, I was interested and feeling engaged in the beginning there, but it doesn't last long. It just spirals.
yeah.
It almost does exactly what fucking Halloween Ends does. Because when I first saw Halloween Ends, I didn't mind how it started out, and it just spiraled.
Yeah, but that guy, that not the black guy, but the other white guy, his acting was awful at the end. Like it was just, I was like, what the fuck? I was just starting to laugh at the ending.
I mean, my main problem with it was like there was such a like waste of Ellen Bernstein, you know? I mean, her character was good except for the whole, you know, and I mean, and I thought, okay, it's a good thing, you know, where they had it to where she wrote that book and she lost her faith and everything. But that whole bullshit of her, like, oh, I'm gonna help you get the devil out and stuff, and then she got all fucked up. You know, that was a bit ridiculous, but I think she probably she didn't even want to do it anyway, I think. And you know, she finally, I guess, had, you know, told them, you know, they said they'd donate all this money to like her favorite charity or whatever. So maybe she wanted to be kind of written out of it or whatever. And since those other two movies aren't going to be made, they can just leave it like that.
Yeah, because I saw the
Yeah.
features and Dickhead David Gordon Green, he is fucking cocky. Like you could tell he thought he was gonna make a masterpiece. Like, oh, this is gonna help the new generation to enjoy this movie and put seats into theaters. So I'm happy they're bringing back the original actors. And guess what? He doesn't want to do the sequels, and he's going to do Disney movies instead. So they're not going to do the sequels anymore.
I guess that's all his competent level is able to do. I guess is Disney
Yeah.
movies, but
Yeah,
Yes,
well,
Lisa.
it's good that Disney hired him because he, you know, he won't be there long probably either. You know,
that's you know what they might. I mean, it took them a while to get rid of Kathleen Kennedy. I mean, she's still involved in things, but it was hard to get her out of Star Wars. Like it's
Yep.
like it seemed like it got to a point where it was like somebody physically had to stiff arm her or something. You know, like to get her out of like to get her involvement out of the way. But
Put a chick,
man, there's fucking
put a
movies.
chick in there. Put a chick in there and make her gay. I like how South Park made fun of Captain Penny with that. Like,
that was
chick
great.
there
That was
and make her
fantastic.
fucking gay as fuck.
What's up there, Scott? We got Scott's here and Ryan's here too. What's up, guys? Yeah, I'm all possession now as far as like modern movies go. I don't
And,
know. See something with a
yeah,
possession in it,
January.
I don't fucking care anymore.
Yeah, he's not doing horror movies, Jason. So he's doing Disney movies now.
I want to see a movie where Sarah McLachlan actually kills animals.
And sings at the same time.
Exactly. Yeah. I think, you know, that would be a real twist, you know, in her life.
You know, it'd be crazy if you like saw an article on like Google like tomorrow, Sarah McLachlan mauled by fucking pack of dogs or something. You know? She's got no face left. Still loves the dogs.
She's actually really nice. At a store I worked at, she did an in-store, and she was really cool. I can tell you one of my worst experiences though. Joan Osborne. Oh my God, with her lovely song, what if God was one of us? And she was the fucking bitch, and I don't think God was too happy with her. She had this. We did an in store when I worked at Borders Books with her, and like she had this fucking like rider where she had to have an hour on the floor alone, except for one personal shopper to help her out, and so she could shop before her performance, where she only did like I think 3 songs anyway. And then she commanded that she have a private space, which happened to be like our lunch area. So we had to like go somewhere to get, to hang out during lunch, because she had to have that, like space. They at least gave us free lunch though, because they catered all this food for her, which of course she wasn't going to eat. And then of course the big thing, and you can probably guess, was I was the personal shopper, the assistant. So I'm just standing there, and I went up to her once and I was like, "Can I help you find anything, Miss Osborne?" She totally ignored me, just went on and did her shit. And I'm just like, man, God's not one of you.
Yeah, that's odd. But Chester's asking us, what do you guys think of John Carpenter's movie, The Prince of Darkness? So scary, great music from him and Alan Hawkworth. I mean, I've always liked the movie. I feel like the final act of it kind of loses a bit of its opening to it. Like there's like a real atmospheric substance to it as the movie begins and everything, and you're trying to figure out like everything that Donald Pleasance is like, scared of and what's leading up to it. Because you could tell that Donald Pleasance as the priest in that, like, he knows more than what he's leading on to. But at the same time, I guess he doesn't even know what to expect at the same time. But I mean, that movie's just creepy as hell. You got the devil involved. It's John Carpenter working with the devil. I enjoy the movie. I just feel like it doesn't have a strong third act to it. That's my only real issue with the movie. But other than that, it's got great music. It's a very different cast for a Carpenter film too. That's for sure. But I do like the movie.
I do enjoy the movie. It's just there's some filler scenes that slows down the movie, especially like the beginning. Kind of like has the opening credit, like it goes on for like 10 minutes. But besides that, like that slowing them, like because there's some slower parts too. I still enjoy the movie. I feel like the movie had a creepy atmosphere throughout. And it's cool that Alice Cooper in it, who kills somebody with a bike piece or something, which is awesome.
Yeah, it's like a bike frame where like the guy falls down, so it'll hit the tire and it actually like holds him up.
Because John Carpenter actually he saw Alice Cooper doing that in one of his concerts, so that's why he had him do that to a person in that movie. So like, oh, that's how he did somebody, because he hanged out with John Carpenter hanged out with Alice Cooper and also attended WrestleMania 3.
Yeah. I mean, I know that's how he met Roddy Piper. I think he went to like one of those WrestleMania events and met up with him. Yeah, that's the 4K right there for Prince of Darkness. Which I always like that poster art though, where it's like the devil's face there and it's like stretching out with the church. But yeah, definitely a very atmospheric one. I just, if I were to like rank his films, this would probably come like somewhere near like number 5. I did like a top 10 ranking for him or something. But I mean, I don't know. I enjoy all of Carpenter's films really. Like even the ones that I can't tolerate, I still find some watchable value in. Like I really don't like Village of the Damned, his remake for that. I can still watch it, but there's times I watch it and I'm just irritated with it. Like, but I don't know. It's John Carpenter, Like, like I know he does like shit on a lot of his own stuff nowadays, but like sometimes I feel like I know where he's coming from. Like, I guess he doesn't understand the hype, why so many people love his work.
At least he's not batshit crazy like some of these guys now.
But you know what though? Like, I'm really surprised that there wasn't more filmmakers out there that did their own soundtracks. It just really
Right.
surprised me that John Carpenter is like the only one that is a director and can be so creative with music. It just, I don't know. I just thought there would be like another director that would come by to be so like not like him, but like similar, like knows or is like music oriented and stuff. But I guess that's what makes another thing that makes Carpenter so great and masterful.
Mhm.
The first time Russell heard of John Carpenter, he thought he was really a carpenter, And then, all hell broke loose as always.
Yeah, next minute, David Gordon Green. David Gordon Green. No one
Yeah, yeah. He deserves to be there.
Well, at least,
not horror movies.
At least it's him and not Brian Peck, So that's all I'm going to say about that. We won't discuss any of that.
That's better.
Yeah, that's all I'm going to say.
Brian Peck. He's a piece of shit. I go with a piece of shit.
It's official. Yeah, if you guys, I don't know if you guys picked up the Vestron video release for Blue Steel. I haven't seen this movie in so long, but like I picked it up because it was only $10 like a couple months ago. I still have yet to rewatch this, so I haven't seen it in years. But apparently Jamie Lee Curtis hates this fucking movie. Apparently she has nothing good to talk about with this movie. Even her whole experience of it, it's awful.
Well, apparently she hates a lot of things. So,
Even her fucking horror movies. She hates Terror Train. She hates The Fog. She hates
but you know what's annoying with that is like when they came out with this new Halloween franchise.
Yeah.
It's like all she wants to do is overhype everything. And honestly, like also there's an audio commentary on the Fog Blu-ray where it's John Carpenter and Jamie Lee Curtis. And they talk about the Fog, but they also talk about their experiences with Halloween, and it's so unbearable to hear her talk. It's just annoying because you could tell it's just not genuine. You could tell she's saying what the fans want to hear. Yeah. And it becomes obvious after a while. Just like when I was listening to that audio commentary, I was like, man, if she would just shut the fuck up, this wouldn't be that bad. Like,
yeah, because she hates a lot. She even hated doing horror movies, so that's why she doesn't like a lot of her horror movies. So that's why she doesn't give a shit about it. But I know Blue Steel's not, but that's an action movie that's awesome.
I would just rather her be honest about it instead of just suddenly like, oh, I think it's great that we're doing this 40 years later and all the fans are here. It just sounds so just not genuine at all from her sometimes. And it's just like, shut the fuck up, man. Like, I could tell you're just lying at your ass right now.
Continue.
I was just going to say Ryan's comment. I can't stand Danielle Harris. Well, there was a certain person in here. There'd be a fucking war going on right now.
Yeah, it'd be a meltdown for some. Wouldn't be a war. It'd just be a meltdown for somebody. That's all.
But the one movie that Jamie Curtis thinks that's the worst movie that she worked on was the Virus movie with Donald Sutherland.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that one.
I fucking disagree with that because I actually enjoy that movie, and I rather watch that a million times over Halloween Ends. I'm like, fuck that debate. Like, you're gonna think that's your worst movie? Like, you fucking started in Halloween Ends, which fucking sucked monkey balls.
I mean, I don't even know what Halloween Ends is, I'm just kidding, but I will never like watch that. And the only thing that was redeeming to me about that movie was the fact that they played the Cramps in it. You know, that DJ played the Cramps, like they play them in
Yep.
Texas Chainsaw 2, and that's about the only thing. You know, any movie that has the Cramps being played in it is decent to me.
Daniel was talking about fart jars. But are you guys familiar with Razorback from 1984, the one with the wild boar?
The giant wild boar monster creature. Yep.
Yeah. Like that's a movie I always like to watch like throughout the summer. I try to get that in at some point. I just was thinking about that off the top of my head. The 1984 Razorback.
I know Shit Factory did a Blu-ray of it, which I think they also included an uncut version or some shit or something.
Yeah, I only have the Umbrella Entertainment Blu-ray. I don't have the Scream one, but I think the Umbrella one has like everything that you need for that movie. But I mean, I know some people don't really care for it, but I just think I think that movie's very unique because the movie manages to be stylish while also like coming off as a super exploitation film at the same time. And obviously it's a Jaws ripoff, but it still kind of does its own thing.
Yeah. I'm actually a huge fan of creature feature movies. I don't know, I'm entertained with those creature feature movies. Even the 50s movies, like some of those movies fucking creep the shit out of me, especially like, did you ever see Earth versus the Spider?
Oh, I know. I got heard of it. I know I don't have it. I've probably seen it.
That movie creeped the shit out of me because it was this giant ass tarantula they find in a cave and shit, and they capture it and then it wakes up from the tranquilizer and it goes and rampage in the town, and like it just looks creepy, like because even though it's a close up of the tarantula, but it looks it looks creepy as fuck.
Yeah, see, that would probably. Yeah, like I can relate to that because I really don't like spiders.
And it even makes a weird ass shrieking noise, like it goes like, like that even creeped the shit out of me more. Like even looking at it creeped me out, but when I heard that screechy, like what the fuck, I would definitely run the fuck out of there. Like hearing that.
I see Dirk is mentioning Tentacles. I think that's the 1977 movie where like the movie is cheesy. It's cheesy, but like as you're watching it, you will notice how creepy the atmosphere is. Like whenever there's like something under, like it's a big tentacle creature. You don't really like see it unless it's making contact with someone, but like when like the tentacles are creeping up on somebody underwater, like those scenes are actually kind of creepy as shit. But looking at the movie as a whole, it's got some extra cheesy moments throughout it too. But it's if you're into those type of movies, you're looking for something you haven't seen before, you might get some enjoyment out of that one.
Creature's a lot of fun.
I had a good time going back. We were back in the summer when we were watching Deep Rising, man. That's a fucking fun one from the 90s, man. With Treat Williams. Oh man, that was so good seeing that again, man. That's another one with giant tentacle creature, and the storyline's so cool because you got these guys getting ready to pull a heist on this cruise ship, and they get on this ship and it's all empty, and it comes to turn out, they ain't getting off the ship. They're gonna have to fight this giant tentacle creature. It just gets so bizarre. But I mean, for as cheesy as it is with that movie, it provides a lot of cool action sequences, some good dark humor throughout it. It's got a fairly decent character actor cast throughout it too. So I'm just, it sucks that the Kino Blu-ray's out of print now, but I mean, I have it, but it's just, more people need to see that movie.
Jason asks if we've ever seen The Sand. It sounds familiar to me, but I don't think I have.
I know I've seen a movie called It Stains the Sands Red, but not The Sand. The Sand. I don't think I've seen The Sand. It sounds modern for some reason. I'm gonna say it's a modern one. Oh, you know what, Texas? Have you ever seen a movie called The Visitor?
I
With,
might have to refresh my memory.
Lance Hendrickson's in it. I think, fuck, man, it's such a bizarre exploitation film, man. It's like this little girl's got like this power. She's got these powers or whatever, like or psychokinetic powers, and some other guy comes from this other world. It's like, yeah, it's like a sci-fi exploitation film, and he's got to stop her, and it's just, I know I'm explaining it terribly right now, but hold on, let me try to fucking find this thing on here. I think it's 1979. Yeah. 1978 or 79, sci-fi horror, The Visitor. An ancient intergalactic warrior arrives on Earth to put stop to a demonic child's plot to reproduce Satan's next generation of evil. Man, that is a bizarre one, I'm telling you, man. The little girl in that movie, too, that's like, she's like, obviously, like, being, like, possessed by, like, this satanic fucking entity or whatever. Like, her acting in it is just like really fucking good, and like there's times where like she will be talking to adults like an adult, like cursing at these people and shit. Like, it's her one-liners are like, wow, like it's funny to watch her chump people in this movie just left and right. But definitely a bizarre one. It's also an early role from Lance Hendrickson's in it. But it was directed by John Huston, and he's also in it too.
Oh wow!
Juno, have you ever seen Miss 45?
Are you talking about the last Harrison movie you just explained?
No, Miss 45 is a revenge. It's like a revenge rape movie from '81. It's a Abel Ferrara movie.
No, I've never seen it.
Yeah, but I mean, it's definitely in the subgenre of like Death Wish movies, like all that. You know, it's one of those movies. But I know you like that subgenre, so I would definitely recommend checking out Miss 45. You would like that one.
Thank you. I'll definitely check it out.
Yeah, I think it is on Look Movie. It should be fairly easy to find online for free, but I really think you would like that one. And it's only an hour and 20 minutes long, but it's also guerrilla filmmaking throughout that. Like, you see a lot of like Times Square shots where like people are looking at the camera who shouldn't be looking at the camera and shit because people are so mesmerized by everything. But yeah, it's like one of those movies that's like, you know, most of it's shot on location in New York City and everything, just real, like, you know, guerrilla filmmaking style. But I know you like those type of movies, so you definitely got to see Miss 45 at some point.
I'll definitely check it out.
Like, even like Thriller, A Cruel Picture, or whatever they call her, One Eye, like that's a good movie to compare to that.
Yeah, because seeing Fighting Back this year, that's another movie I enjoyed and was surprised seeing the first time this year.
Yeah, that's one of my all-time favorite like revenge films.
Yeah, I just love how intense Tom Skerritt is in that movie. Like, it really helps the movie along with how serious things are in the neighborhood and how serious he has to take it to where he's got to get his own, you know, neighborhood watch crew together and to take care of things until something drastic happens to one of his close friends. I think one of his close friends gets killed, and that's when he's got to, you know, step it up another level. He's got to stop just beating people down. He's going to have to start taking people's lives.
He kicks ass and takes on names like a motherfucker.
I know, dude. I love at one point they just start rolling up at the park. They stop talking to people. They just get out and start beating people the fuck up with bats and shit.
John, have you ever seen this, Harold and Maude?
I know I've heard of it.
Never seen it.
Oh man, this is great. This has got like Ruth Gordon in her, I think, in her finest like role, and Bud Cort. It's about this kid Harold, he's probably like in about 20, early 20s, whatever, and he doesn't like to go, really do anything. He comes from a rich family, and he pretty much hates it. And so the thing that he does is he goes to funerals, and then he goes to you know, like his mother tries to get him dates, and so every time he comes over, or they come over, he fakes like a suicide or something, and it's amazing. So during one of the times he goes to one of the funerals, he sees Ruth Gordon there, and then she sees her at another one. She starts talking to him and stuff, and she's like this, old lady who really like loves life and stuff. That's why she goes. And so then they wind up striking up this friendship. It kind of turns into a bit more of a friendship, but it's just hilarious, like some of the things that go on. And when you mentioned Tom Skerritt, he's got a small role. Like I think it's one of his first roles in it, and this is like pretty much in like my top 10. So we should do a watch along for that.
Yeah, I know I've heard of that title before. I'd never given much thought to it because it just never jumped out at me, but it's something I'm gonna have to, get around to giving a watch soon or something.
It's got like a Cat Stevens soundtrack and stuff. It's really good.
Okay. Oh shit.
Thank you for that recommendation, Texas.
Oh, I definitely recommend it.
Was that a Criterion title?
Yes, sir. I don't think it is anymore, but
Yeah, it was hard to see that C at the top. It was like it looked like it was there, and then it wasn't. Like I was like, it looks like a Criterion release.
there's like like at the beginning, this one scene where he's like it's like he's dead in the bathtub, and his mother walks in, and she's just like, Harold, and then she walks out. It's just like, what the fuck. Thanks, Dirk. I appreciate that a lot, and see you soon.
Yeah, Dirk.
What the hell is this guy doing?
Take care, Dirk.
Jesus Christ. What a fucking weirdo.
Hey, Jerry. Welcome, brother. Hope things are going well.
Jerry.
Hey, what's up, Jerry? But we're probably going to be ending this soon. Probably in like the next 10, 15 minutes, maybe.
Yeah, probably.
So I guess nobody has voted a different Star Wars movie, so we're gonna stick with Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys even want to change it last minute to something else, I'm open to whatever. Whatever you guys want to do. I've never done a Star Wars movie before, but it's something I could easily, go through. That's for sure.
Well, it's like, you and I both want to, try to, for our friends, do stuff for them. And she had just mentioned that to me. And I thought, well, that sounds cool. And do something for her for a change, and stuff.
Yeah, I know. Like, I know she mentioned the Ewok movie. Like, we can do that. I just,
Okay.
Well,
I've never seen it, so I don't know anything about it. So,
I mean, I can watch it. I don't know. Like, I don't know. It's hard to explain right now, like, without, like, I don't know. Never mind. I don't know what I'm talking about.
I never seen that one. I never even heard that one being existing.
Yeah, it's not like an official movie. It's not really a part of the franchise. It was like a special that was made after Return of the Jedi. Because Return of the Jedi is 83. The Ewok movie came out in 85. They were still riding on like how the merchandise was keeping everything alive, even though the movies were already gone. So then they went and made an Ewok movie. And I know in Return of the Jedi, the Ewoks were supposed to originally have a bigger a bigger part of the movie. So I think that's another reason why they went ahead and made something else, you know, because since the Ewoks never really had like a fair part in the movie, I guess you could say, from like the original idea, I guess. But it is more of a kids thing. I know that. The Ewok movie. It's really is like more kid oriented. Or if you just grew up in that era and you like those type of things, and yeah, you could probably be into that as an adult. But
So
I mean, you know, if she wants to do a watch along for it, I'll do it. I don't give a shit, you know.
right. So Chester says, what do y'all think about P. Rich and the watch-alongs he's been doing? In my opinion, he's been doing a great job. Yeah, I mean, you know,
Yeah,
thanks, Chris,
actually,
and thanks,
it's
Russell.
Yep.
I mean, you know, as long as he doesn't stay in the bathroom all night, everything's cool. No, I'm just joking, Chester. That's just a joke because we all kid about him being in there.
no,
But thank you.
I like everything P. Rich is doing. You know, like it's good to see his channel is growing a little bit more. He's got some more people in the chat. I remember when I was like first taking notice to his watch parties, I was like already subscribed to him for a while, but like there was barely anybody ever there. But he's got more subscribers now, and obviously he's got he's got a family and everything, so he's got to find time for when he can stream, and I think he does pretty good with everything he does. So overall, I try to join him as much as I can when I can, but yeah, I always enjoy being on a panel with him too.
Thank you, Chris and Russell, for that. I appreciate that.
Good, Chris Russell.
So you can see I got a reverse devil lock here. Here you go.
I was like, what the fuck?
It's upside down.
June, I think Juno missed the intro of this stream.
Well,
So, like,
I'll put the intro.
Texas took some acid before the stream. I think his eyes grew bigger. It was pretty funny. Like it really did get like for like 2 seconds there. I was like, wait, is he playing the intro, or is he really live and adjusting some settings right now to make his eyes look bigger? Like, and I was like, well, this is part of the intro.
Yeah, I told you. I said I got some funny bits that I put in there, and stuff.
Yeah. I didn't know what you were talking about, but yeah, you weren't lying, man.
Corey, how's your day been, brother? Pretty good?
Hey there, Corey.
Corey, he's doing a pretty good job with those interviews.
He does a
on his
bang up
channel.
job, man.
Like, I mean, it seems like, he's mostly interviewing like other YouTubers, which is perfectly fine. It just took me a little bit to get adjusted and figure out exactly like what was going on with that. I had to watch more of them. But yeah, he's definitely doing a good job with all that. He's, he presents himself pretty well during his streams and everything. Overall, like I just get the vibe that he's like very experienced at it. But I also think he's still fairly new to YouTube. I think just from what I've seen, but he makes it look like he's been going at it for a while. That's for sure.
I mean, I think he is, his whole format and the way he does things. I mean, it's superb. It's like I'm always entertained, and stuff. And he says he's still trying to figure it out, but I mean, he's a pro, man. I can't say any, I mean, every time I watch one, and I mean, and a lot of these people that, I mean, I don't even know, but it just clicks though. I mean, he does really good, with his interviewing and things like that, and I mean, I'm amazed,
Yeah, I mean, I see that he's saying that he's still trying to figure it out. So that probably tells me at least that there's some other things that he wants to work on to make things better, but
yeah,
he's on the right track right now, in my opinion. So but all right, so we got on my channel, it looks like we have 2 watch parties left for the month, which is going to be this Friday for Alien Day. We're going to be watching James Cameron's 1986 film Aliens for Alien Day. So Larry over at the Horror Cat Dad will be joining us for that on Friday. And then
You're
on the
welcome, Corey.
29th, Monday the 29th, we'll be finishing out the month with the 1989 slasher Intruder. So
Oh,
those
man,
will be the
that's a
last
great
two
one.
watch parties on my channel for April.
That's a great one. You know,
Yeah, I was thinking about it. I was like, we got to do that slasher. It's really like the best supermarket, related slasher out there, really. And it's got such a good blend of horror and comedy. And at the same time, I know they were doing a lot of experimenting with camera angles and lenses with that movie, and it really shows on screen. But for a film that's a low budget slasher that mostly takes place in a supermarket, just such a genius idea. And then the effects in it too. Oh my god, dude. The one scene where the guy gets his head cut in half by that one fucking buzzsaw, and it goes through like his top layer of his teeth. It looks so fucking real, dude. Like, oh my god. Yeah, that's a fun one though.
you never know, Derek. You never know if I'll shave my beard before Christmas.
Maybe make some money off of it.
When I,
You know?
when I cut all my hair off and I did it myself, now it's growing back, but it was so bad, because it was knotted in a couple of different places, and it felt like I had a chinchilla growing on my head, and I had to fucking get rid of it.
Especially in the summertime, that'll change your mind
Oh.
about having long hair.
Oh yeah, especially down here. It's
Yeah.
the worst.
When did you get rid of the chinchilla?
Last year, I had to use like my mustache trimmer and shit and pair of scissors, but I did it, just kind of looking in a mirror like, "Hey, let me see," took me a couple of times to get everything okay, and stuff. And, but the first person I showed a picture to was like Moonbeam, and she was just like, she goes, "Oh my God, I love that smile on your face." I don't know. It's just like, works for me. So. But,
So, yeah.
TikTok.
I mean, I'm just looking at the rest of my streaming schedule, but I mean, for the month of May, we're going to be focusing on Carrie, and we're going to watch Mother's Day, Near Mother's Day. We're going to be, oh yeah, you, me, and Juno are also going to be doing a review discussion for The Crow for the 30th
Okay.
anniversary. That'll be on May 13th.
All right.
So we'll be doing that. We also have American Psycho is scheduled. And then we had the 45th anniversary for Aliens. So then once we get through June, we're going to be focusing on action movies. We're going to be covering the John Wick films, all the Rambo films. And for Juno's birthday, we're going to be watching Con Air, which is on June 24th. So
Yep.
a lot of interesting things coming up. But I am glad that I scheduled the action films for June just to get away from some horror for a little bit. And I loved, the Rambo and John Wick films anyway. So I think it was a smart choice for getting those scheduled just to change things up a bit.
Give me, like a few, well, besides, I guess, May 4th, but give me a few, like, yeah, I forget the date you have me for Over the Edge or whatever.
Yeah. I think that's May 18th. I think that's a Saturday, but yeah, we can do that one on your channel. Or if you got any other things scheduled or in mind, just let me know. I can always adjust my schedule.
Right. Well, I mean, that's why. I mean, there's a few things that I want to do and stuff, and so.
Yeah, just because, just letting you know, whatever's scheduled there, right now, it doesn't mean it's, okay, it has to happen on that day. I mean, I try to, the anniversaries are really the only ones I try to keep on that certain day. But other than that, I can adjust things.
Right.
Can always adjust things.
Derek wants to know, what is the biggest channel for movie watch parties on YouTube?
I mean, if you like paying for them, I guess Night Watch Zone. But if you don't like paying for them, I don't know. I just know I don't charge people for fucking simply hanging out with my friends. Hey,
Yeah.
friends, want to come hang out? Well, it's gonna cost you $4.99. I'm sorry, that shit don't fly with me.
Nah, it's true though. I don't know. I'd say the biggest channel for free ones would be us, or you,
Like, I mean, I don't know. Like, I pay attention to P Riches. I don't really. A lot of people don't really seem to do them as frequently as I do. Like, I do them weekly at least, something like that. But I always try to look at other watch parties that people have. But it seems like most people that will do them, they don't do them as much as we do. But yeah, I mean, I'd say we have pretty good turnouts. But I mean, for me personally, I think the watch parties are really about you, like us three, getting together and hanging out.
This would be fun.
And when the chat joins in, that just makes things better, Like, that just makes it all around better. So it's really just about hanging out with you guys for 2 hours,
On my channel.
talking about and relating to some movies that we all really enjoy, and the chat joining in.
It's cool. Hey, everybody. Jimmy says hello.
Hey, Jimmy.
Yeah, what's up, Jimmy? Hey, at least Jimmy made it, man. Yeah. Jimmy made it, man.
The what? Okay. We'll see you. All right, bye. He said he had a bad day and he fucked up, so he was like, I'm sorry. He goes, I totally forgot. And I was like, it's okay. Because I was curious, not seeing him in the thing, but I thought, well, it's all good.
Yeah, I mean, he needs a break every now and then too, man. He's always here.
Yeah. So, but at least, everybody got to see me answer the phone. Too bad it wasn't a spam call. I could have, cut somebody out.
That's some colorful language there.
Which I do, on a daily basis anyway. I had somebody call yesterday about an ED drug, and they were like, "Sir, I'm calling you about your erectile dysfunction." And I go, "Well, I don't believe that I have that, but and I go, and that's kind of, and I'm like, that's kind of personal. Why would you even ask me such a question?" The woman goes, "Well, I'm calling because we have this drug." I'm like, "But I just told you I don't need it." I said, "Maybe you want to come over here and we can try that out." No, sir, no. I said, well, like I said, I think that's pretty personal information, And she's like, "Well, I'm sorry, sir. I'll take you off the list." I'm like, I hope you do. The fuck, man.
I love that when you can get one of those like telemarketers in a tailspin. It's like you start asking them questions where they're like, "Fuck, I don't know how to answer this." Like you don't know what to do.
Thanks, Ryan.
They text me that what you just said, that rectorial function or the fuck that is.
Right.
They text me that like months ago. I'm like, what the fuck?
I mean, I get the weirdest things, Like I got a call where this guy was saying about, he goes, "You've been overpaying on your electricity, and we want to pay you $100, give you $100 for the month that you've been overpaying or whatever." And I said, "No, sir, I don't want to do that." He says, "Well, you don't want to have an extra $100?" I said, "No, sir." And I'm like speaking in the guy's like fucking accent. And I'm like, I go, "Because your cousin Deep Dish told me I shouldn't accept any charity."
Deep. Fuck, man.
I don't give a fuck, dude. I'll say all sorts of shit to these fuckers. I've even sang like happy birthday And this one guy goes, "It's not my birthday today, sir." And I go, "Well, it's some motherfucker's birthday, so you better appreciate it."
Yeah. It's like telling them it's 5 o'clock somewhere, right?
Right?
Well, usually, like, you know what I usually do is, like, I pick up the phone, I know it's one of them, I go, hold on a second, and I put the phone down, and I just walk away from it, and I come back, I see they're still holding there for about 18, 19, 20 minutes, I'm like, damn, he's still holding on that shit. So I'd rather just waste their time with, hey, can you hold on a second? And, you know, I just do that, and I put the phone down.
I had like, I have this one phone that, it's like a backup phone and stuff. And it's the one that I watch, the chat on or whatever. And this fucking guy, like, this number kept calling. And so I thought, well, let me see if I can actually call him back. Cause sometimes, the number will be like, dead, it's not a working number or whatever. So this number was working, and so then I would fuck with them, and this guy like it answers and he says, "Yes, my name is John," or whatever, and I'd say, "Hey, this is Bill. I can't come into work today. You got to get the boss. I just started. I don't know his name." And the guy goes, "Who are you again?" And I'm like, "My name is Bill." And then I would just go on this whole deal like, "I can't come in today because I had to take my mother somewhere. Some bullshit." And then they would hang up, and I'd call again and I'd say, "Look, this is Bill. You fucking hung up on me. You can't run a business this way. I'm supposed to work for you guys, but I can't come in today. I have an emergency." And then later on, like the next day, they call me from that number, and they'd say, "This is so and so," and I'd say, "Oh yeah, well I was supposed to come in yesterday and I couldn't. What's going on?" I go, "I'm off today, but I'll be in tomorrow." And the guy's like all confused, like, "What?"
I just don't understand how these guys, like, like, how do you not expect to have like a couple pranks be pulled on you? Like, it's like they're not expecting it at all, and like when it happens, it's just like, how fucking gullible are you, fucking people? Like, what the fuck, man? Like, that just surprises me. Like, wow, it's so easy to fuck with these scammers, man. But yeah, unfortunately, some people do charge $4.99 for to join their channel, and so obviously they're the channels that money comes before everything else.
Chester wants to know, in the trailer of the Maximum Overdrive, why did they use a track from Halloween 3? Probably
That's yeah. Who knows? Like, I don't know that one for sure. Can't answer that one.
It's like RoboCop used the Terminator theme for its trailer.
Yeah, that does happen sometimes, which probably means like, like for instance, let's say Terminator and fucking Maximum Overdrive. Let's say if they were both Orion movies. Obviously, only one of them is, but if both of them were, then maybe they could share the music if it's under the rights or whatever. Maybe that's got something to do with it. Who knows? Finding out definitive, clear answers on stuff like that can really be a mixed bag sometimes.
That's true.
It's even like, like as a collector, trying to keep up with out of print titles, because everything changes weekly. Like, you could be looking at something like, oh, this Kino Blu-ray is out of print. It's going for fucking $70. A month later, they re-release the same title, and then the price comes back down. It's like, then, okay, then this title went out of print. And, you just got to constantly be looking at that info to be on top of it. And to stay on top of it is nearly impossible.
I haven't seen those, Chris. Are they available on YouTube by chance?
Highly doubt it.
Well, I mean, those TV movies, hell, I found Lunch Wagon. I didn't think I was ever going to find that on anything, but I found a guy that sells bootlegs, and stuff that has it. Hey, Kal-El, what's going on, brother?
Hey, Cal.
On Amazon and YouTube. Okay, cool. Bob Mitchum. But
Oh, Kale's here. What's up, Kale?
yeah, I think we'll shut this down in just a couple of minutes or so because we've been going for a while. I just,
Yeah, I know. I got my mom's dog here tonight. I got to take her out for a walk soon.
I just because I wanted to give Juno some time since he was a little late.
Yeah, my mistake, folks. Yep.
No, that's
'Cause,
all good, man.
Yeah, I mean,
I just lost track of the time because I forgot because I was in the middle of watching a movie. I was like, because I'm used to like coming around the 7. I forgot like, oh shit, we started at 6.
Yeah,
You
see
piece
that
of
the
shit.
hour difference can be a little distracting and hard to keep up with, especially when we're doing everything else at the usual 10 o'clock time. So it's understandable. But I mean, at the same time, this is only to get together and hang out and kill some time. So it's not like being late for it's not the end of the world, really.
Yeah, the movie I was watching was Dark City.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Dark City. Is that the one with Jim Carrey?
No.
Or fuck is that movie?
Sutherland.
I don't know if I've seen that one. Dark City.
Yeah, it was
Is
in
it
the
old?
mid 90s.
Okay.
The director of The Crow directed that movie.
Oh, it's from '98. Oh, it's like a sci-fi thriller.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not
It
that
looks
bad.
interesting though. Yeah,
It
I've
does
never
have a
seen it.
slow. Yeah. Yeah, I finished watching. That was the one I just finished watching. It does have a bit of a slow pace in it, but it does have a pretty good finale at the end. Like it's kind of been like a
Oh,
superhero movie a little bit.
apparently, it's got Jennifer Connelly in it, so that's a reason for
Yeah,
me to
she's in
watch
it.
it.
Oh hell yeah,
I've had a crush on her since I was a kid, and it's never gone away.
She's hot. Yep.
And that's another one that just keeps, still looking good. With the older she gets, she still looks good, man.
man.
Not fucking around like plastic surgery crap.
That one movie I was telling you about that she's in with Billy Crudup, Waking the Dead. Oh man, we definitely should do a watch party for that. And she is so smoking in that. Hey,
Yeah, that's
Coffin
early
Crew.
2000s.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know why people waste money with that stupid fucking plastic surgery bullshit. It's just gonna make them all fucked up and shit. That's why, like, yeah, you said Jennifer Connelly. She doesn't look. She still looks the same. Like, yep, she didn't use any of that plastic surgery crap. She still looks great.
I mean, it's hard to say who does and who doesn't nowadays. People could be fucking, got all this AI enhancement too. But I just think she looks pretty damn good for her age, man. But KK's here, Coffin Crew. What's up, Coffin Crew?
Hey, Coffin.
Cal goes watch party, but leave the rub and cream, off stream.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like that scene in Career Opportunities where she's riding that fucking horse, that mechanical, thing. Whew, like, I can't be talking about stuff like that, like if Moonbeam was in here, she'd be like naughty boy, yeah. But anyway, I just want to say thanks to all of you, Rosalia and Chester and Zodiac and Corey and Kal-El and Coffin Crew, Jim and man, help me out here, guys. Ginger and Dirk and
Corey over at Wilkie's Movies.
Chris and Russell, of course, and and 71 and Foxy, and this is a good night. And Corey, of course. I mean, it's been a
Right, Corey.
yeah.
Well, maybe we'll be back again next Tuesday. I don't know. We'll get
Yeah.
another one of these going next week. I just don't know what day right now. We'll figure out what day. But I mean, as of right now, the next watch party is going to be Friday for Alien Day. We're going to be watching James Cameron's Aliens from 1986 at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on my channel. And yeah, Larry from the Horror Cat Dad will be joining us.
Oh yeah, and of course Mikey. Damn, I can't forget Mikey, and stuff. But
Yeah.
thanks for the praise, Russell. But I really don't deserve all the praise that you give me, man. I'm just a guy. Oh, Brooke, here we go. Requiem
Brooke.
for a Dream. Yes, and I hate that film, but just
Go figure.
certain personal reasons. I mean, I love Jennifer in it, of course, but I'm just not a fan of drug films. That's all. And
Those are rough. Yeah, drug movies are rough.
You don't like Basketball Diaries?
I've never actually seen Basketball Diaries. I could probably get through that one, but
that's another coming of age movie right there.
In a way, yeah.
Definitely.
Like, you ever see that Ben Stiller movie?
Like Go Ask Alice,
You ever see that Ben Stiller movie that's a drug addict, that he played a drug addict in a movie?
Yeah, Permanent Midnight.
Yeah.
Is that
it?
Yeah. Well, see, that's the thing. Like when I watched Requiem for a Dream, I watched that, Permanent Midnight, and fucking oh man, I just had it in my head. I swear I'm getting Alzheimer's. Fucking
dude, it happens to me, man. I'll be mid-sentence and out of nowhere, poof, just gone. Like, what the fuck was I talking about?
Yeah, it was Trainspotting. Those 3 movies, man, like pretty much in a row, and it was just like a fucking overload, and I'm just like, man, no fucking way,
See, that's understandable, but like, I'm not gonna like dive into all this, but like, I can relate to those movies because like I went through some of those situations. Like I used to be a heavy partier and all that stuff, and
yeah, I mean,
for me to like really get away from all that, like that's why like I like to go back to like some of those movies. Not even so much of the theme; it's just the movie itself. Like it's well, especially Trainspotting. I think that's one of Danny Boyle's best films in general.
It's a good movie.
But it's understandable when you get hit with like movies that want to focus on stuff like that with partying and to have them be so realistic and genuine. That shit does hit home on you. Like for some people, man, it really just it can end up hitting you where you live in some certain ways, and we all react to things differently.
And Obi-Wan is the lead of that movie, Trainspotting.
Yeah, Ewan McGregor.
Well, I mean, some of that shit's personal for me too. Not abusing or doing things to myself, but other people. I mean, I've had quite a few friends, unfortunately, die from being fucking heroin addicts and shit. So it's a personal thing too, and I'm not so it's kind of like not like I mean, I guess, certain films have to be made, and things like that. But sometimes some of those movies, you don't know if it's like really supposed to be like an anti-drug film or if it's like, even pro-drugs, because, with the way Hollywood is, fucking, people dying and everything. And, I don't know. It's kind of like, it's really iffy for me on a lot of those things.
It is a touchy subject because like a lot of that stuff is
I mean, like another thing is like Trainspotting and Basketball Diaries. They are movies that are of their time. Those movies are focusing on drug use because at that time, that stuff was picking up more. It was starting to show up in all areas of lifestyles, and finally people started to make films about it and stuff. And obviously that's always going to be a touchy subject. Like these are obviously great films, but yeah, they're really hard subjects to sit there and just kind of open yourself to.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's just.
I mean, I get what you're saying, dude. Like, there's nothing wrong with what you're saying at all. I totally get what you're saying. But like, I kind of need those reminders sometimes of how rough it was, you know.
Right.
Because I can forget how things how certain things were at a certain point. You know, once you get on a certain track, you know, with finding your self union and being yourself again and getting away from negatives with partying. But I mean, I've lost good friends. My best friend died from a heroin overdose. Guy I've known since I was 12 years old. And like the saddest part about it is like the dude was so fucked up on drugs for so long. And then he got clean. He was clean for like 6 months, and I saw him a week before he fucking died, which was even more stranger because I haven't seen him in months before that. And I was under the impression he was still getting fucked up. And he came by my house one day. I was like, can't believe you're all cleaned up and I'm talking to a human being right now. Because every time I ever try to talk to you, I'm kicking you and trying to get you to fuck up, but you can't get up. And it was just amazing to see him have a transformation, full turnaround like that. But then he ended up doing a bag, and I guess his body, his tolerance just wasn't there anymore to handle it, and he just died.
Yeah.
But I understand the reality of that and the life that brings it. You know, everything that comes with that lifestyle. You're here 1 minute, and next minute you're not, man. That's it.
Yeah, Brooke, you didn't bring down the mood. You know, it's
No.
Even
no,
I'm in a great mood.
even that movie, even that movie, Dead Presidents. Chris Tucker plays a drug addict in that movie. You know, look what
Yeah,
happened.
and
That
ultimately, when the cops kick in his door, they catch him, and he's dead from a heroin overdose. Which is,
Like, oh
it's like
man,
the movie focuses on like the effects of being in Vietnam and then coming home and adjusting to that life. That's what the movie really does focus on with Dead Presidents. And that's the first R-rated movie I ever snuck into was Dead Presidents. That was the first R. I remember we couldn't get tickets because we were too young. Apparently, the theater was sold out, but we snuck in and somehow we still found seats. I don't know how that worked out that way, but it did. But you know, I'm in a good mood. I don't think anything got brought down here. I just know
no.
the stream got extended a little bit longer, which I'm fine with. But I am going to have to get off here in like 10 minutes. So. But like I don't know, like I love those kind of surreal movies though. You know, like I feel like like sometimes I need a break from movies sometimes. And I need to like watch a crime story that's real. Because
Right.
sometimes for me, like when I watch so many movies, you know, it's like obviously I'm watching good stuff, but I need some reality sometimes, and I'm not gonna watch the fucking news. No way I'm sitting down watching the fucking news. I don't give a shit about that. So like, I will dive into like serial killer documentaries or stuff like that, or why a certain killer is being focused on, and it's usually like somebody it's like an active shooter or something. Like I just like to watch those documentaries, especially if they're presented very well, or even Netflix does good with like those multi-part series, like they'll do like a story where it'll end up being like 4 episodes or something. But I love watching documentaries and stuff that's like real life like that. Like, if it's presented well, you got my intent, you got my full attention,
I just saw that documentary on Max that I told Texas about, which is about the Oklahoma bombing.
With Timothy McVeigh and all that. See, that's
that
always
dude.
so vivid to me because that happened on my birthday. I was like 12 years old. I remember I was getting ready to go out to eat with my mom, and we saw the shit come up on the news about the government building being blown up. And I was like so young at the time. I was like, what happened? Like, why is my birthday ruined right now? Like, But that was obviously sad, but unfortunately, all that shit in Waco, that caused all that, and the government fucking started that, and look what happened. Government should have never fucked with those people. the government never would have fucked with those people, we never would have had these situations. But
Yeah.
that's all done and over with and in the past now.
But yeah, I did see that recently on Max because it was one day with like I think we were during the stream that I think we were streaming that day. I was like in the morning, I was like, I'm gonna put something on, and Max just uploaded the documentary about the Oklahoma bombing. Like, and there was more information that went behind it. I'm like, oh shit, there was more story behind it. It was interesting because I only knew about the bombing, but I didn't know about that they were actually gonna in the '80s they were gonna attack the building before that happened.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a very deep story, man. When you take it all the way back to Waco in '93, and then a couple years later with Oklahoma City.
During '81, they were gonna do it.
So Mikey wants to know, he's never seen you without a hat, Sean. Are you bald?
Yeah, dude. Like I'm all bald, so I just shave it. Like I have nothing growing in the front there, so eventually I just started shaving it. But I've always I've been obsessed with wearing hats since I was a kid. I remember my dad would always be like, like I used to buy you hats when you were a kid. You would have all these collections of hats. Like I used to have like a police officer's hat, like I would wear when I was a kid and shit. Like I used to have all different collections of hats. But I've always been a hat person. I feel comfortable with a hat on. Like it's just how I am. But yeah, to answer your question, like 41 years old, my hair's not growing thick. That's for sure.
I still have a hair helmet, except that I'm thinning at the top kind of here, But
I mean, it's just hair, right? It's dead skin cells is all it is. It's what the fuck? It's just hair.
For me, I need a haircut. Mine's been growing.
I got it.
Juno, you need cornrows. You need to get the cornrows, the Judgment Night look going. We could put you in the Judgment Night crew. With Dennis Leary and everybody. I would love to see Juno with fucking cornrows. That'd be fucking great. You know what, Juno? I think if you did get cornrows, like for some reason, it would give you mad street credit. Right on the bat, your street credit would go up right away.
I get like a huge like afro, man, just and like hide shit in it,
I'm pretty sure. I think his hair is long enough to be cornrowed, so and I know his head would get all itchy, like you'd be smacking your head all day and shit.
Here we are talking about our fucking hair. I mean, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, we'll come back to this in 30 years and we'll see how we look 30 years from now. Like, remember that stream we did 30 years ago before we were looking dead?
Vanta's here. Yay. It's good
Vanta
to see you,
Black.
Yeah. She does these great like lo-fi music streams and stuff, and she's they're awesome. I met her through Mikey and stuff, so and we're kind of almost ending, and stuff. So, but I mean, Brooke, at least she got it to where we could, get Vanta on here, so that's cool,
Yeah, I know I'm subscribed to the channel. I still have to get more acquainted with that channel, Vanta Black. But yes, good morning. Good morning there in England. It's on the East Coast here. It's midnight, actually, right on the dot where I'm at.
9:01 over here.
And it's 11:02 here. The train will be arriving at,
we had a good turnout for this. Like, this was like over 10 people the whole time. So it's, that's great to see, man. But you know what I noticed? Like, just, you, Texas, like, you seem to be very well liked throughout the community. When I hear people talking about you, like, people love talking about you. And at the same time, like, I know I've expressed to you before, like, I think you are a very good listener, which is why I like hanging out with you every week. Like, you're always willing to be open-minded and hearing people out and everything. But you're definitely, as Mikey says, one of the coolest guys around and everything. Like, I definitely agree with that. You're a very easygoing guy. You just want to hang out and have fun with everyone else. And I think that's why, your streams so far and everything you've been doing on here have been doing pretty well. People, they take notice of you. That's for sure.
It's all unnecessary.
It's all bullshit, made up. Everything I just said's a lie.
Yeah, I know one person that likes me, but I'll start blushing and then they'll know who it is. You're welcome, Vanta. You're awesome. And then this other person's really awesome too. So it's like
the whole chat's looking awesome to me, man.
Oh yeah, they are. You guys are the real people behind this, man, not me. I'm just the fucking messenger, as they say. That's all.
He's just the guy that hit live on the button. That's all. But all right, I'm gonna have to get out of here though, cause I gotta go walk this dog, and this dog's looking at me like, "What the fuck are we doing over here?" I gotta go to the bathroom. I'm getting that look right now. So, all right, unless you're ending it, I'll wait till you end it. But
I can. I guess.
Yeah, I'm just saying I gotta get out of here though. I know that.
No, I understand. I'm not trying to keep you, but
No, I don't want you to stop the stream, and if you want to keep going, go. I'm just letting you know, like, if you're gonna keep going, I'm gonna have to check out.
So okay, well, yeah. In case we decide otherwise, the pick is Empire, I guess. But yeah, go ahead and get going. Juno and I guess will hang out since people are still,
I would say for the Star Wars pick, as of right now, we're gonna go with Empire. But maybe, I don't know, should we do maybe do a poll on your channel, see if it gets a better, whatever you want to do. I don't care. Like I said, I can watch.
I don't know. So many people were adamant about not the last three, and stuff like that. So it's kind of like, okay, But I'm also afraid my phone might die too. So I guess I'm just like, fuck. I don't know what to do. I don't want to be like one of these marathoners, and it's like fucking 6 hours long. Jeez,
Yeah, we're only gonna do the one movie. We do Empire. That's a 2-hour movie, so that'll be like a 2.5-hour stream probably, which is fine with me. But as of right now, I guess we're gonna do Empire. If something changes, we'll all let you know then, I guess.
I can do the 3D trick again.
Yeah, if you do, well, if you hold it directly at the screen, yeah. But all right, guys, I gotta check out of here though. But definitely another good one here, hanging out with you guys tonight. And
it was.
I'll stay in touch with you guys about Friday. I'll send you guys the links and everything for Aliens. And everyone in the chat, thanks for coming by. Take care and have a good week, everyone.
And then there were two. Thank you, Vanta. Cheers to you as well. Well, what are we going to talk about? Well, let's see. You could, Juno, you could just say, this is a piece of shit,
Because David Gordon Green made that Halloween Ends.
You pick on him too much though. You got to pick on some other people. Who's the guy that runs Bloomhouse?
Jason Blum.
Yeah, pick on him for a bit. Fuck that dude. See, I didn't think Vanta came here to just hear us curse, stuff. Or just watch me laugh like a moron, balance a
Mason Blum or
cup on my
Blum.
head. You
Or
know.
that, okay.
The what?
Do you think he just ruins movies, or do you think he's just a jackass?
No, I don't think he's. I mean, I just think they're in a space right now where they're not as innovative as they once were, and it happens. They just need to kind of just switch it up. That's the
Are
main
they gonna
thing.
do an? Are they still gonna do another Purge movie?
Beats me.
Because I don't know they're
Um,
gonna
I mean,
do that. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's just like A24. I mean, I don't want them to get stale, but then there's not a whole bunch of,
Hmm.
it's like I don't like every single thing, and I really don't think everybody's going to like a single thing that any one studio does. I mean,
Yeah, like
it's more kind of like you can like, a director's output, I think, more than like a studio per se, because Kevin Smith was always sort of jumping around different places, and I like most of his
he was
things.
trying to go to horror when he did Tusk, which I don't mind that movie, but yeah, like that wasn't that like one of his first movies to do a horror film? You
Yeah.
ever seen that one?
Which one, Tusk?
Yeah, the one he
Yeah,
wanted to do.
but I have issues with that one.
What do you envision? The ending or what?
No, not the ending. He
Because I have
said
issues
that
with that.
he said that he made that movie because he received an email or something on like or something from like one of his podcasts, and they said something about how somebody kind of said, hey, I have this idea, what do you think of this, would you make a horror movie out of it or something like that, and he said yeah. But it's to me, people have tried to tell me that this is the real deal, that this was from this email or whatever, and I call bullshit because there's a movie from 1977 called, it's about this guy that gets turned into a snake, and it's almost the same fucking premise. So I mean, it's all just bullshit, and I mean, I
Did
don't
you?
care. It's not a rip off of it, but what he came up with was not a unique idea. He took from that movie, and like I said, I don't care, but nobody can tell me otherwise, because you have to see it, because when you actually see it, you'll go like, oh shit, you're right, so I mean, you know
But the issue that I have with the movie is the way the movie ended. Which I don't know if anybody sees it. Like, if I want to say what happens at the end, you want me to explain my rant a bit?
yeah, go ahead.
I think it was fucking stupid to like have the girlfriend have him be alive. Oh, I love you, but she's a cheating bitch that's like fucking with his with his best friend, and cheating on him. I mean, now that she wants him to be alive and kept as a zoo pet, like what the fuck?
Well, see, that's almost a similar ending where they take uh Derek Benedict's character, turn him into the snake, and he's put like in the Snake Man, and he's like in this freak show, and his girlfriend, she's there at the freak show at the end, and she sees him, and she sees what he became and stuff. So
Yeah,
you know, it
but I
is.
don't know. I feel like the Tuz movie had more of a fucked up ending
Well,
because I even what made it fucked up was the sad music that ends where he's like growling, and then the movie started to playing a sad melody song. I'm like, Oh, this is more fucked up. Like you could tell he's in pain and wants to get out of his misery because for what he's been turned into a walrus. I'm like, damn, that's fucked up. But like, I don't know. Like, I don't mind the movie. It's just the ending. I have frustration with it, and besides, his girlfriend's a piece of shit too,
Right.
because she's fucking his best friend, who's like his best friend that's working him on the podcast channel.
Yeah, it looks like my phone is gonna like any
Oh, it's
minute.
gonna die.
It's gonna say I got 20%, and then we're gonna be like screwed. So I'm like, but
You want to
know,
do the intro, like
yeah,
ending
I'm
this
gonna
shit?
play the intros again on the way out. So I'm gonna get that set up, I guess. But yeah, thanks again to everybody that came
Take
out,
care, buddy.
and really appreciate you guys very, very much. To listen to us ramble, especially me. You know, I'm sorry, my adrenaline went really high tonight, and I'm just kind of like, all fuzzy and stuff, and I feel like I'm drunk, but I'm not drunk. I'm happy, and so that's a good thing for me because so all that. But anyway, it's always great hanging out with Juno and Sean and
Yep.
all of you and stuff. And real quick, I'm gonna put this up. Everybody watch Bad Boy Lover Boy. This is a good family film.
Bad boy.
Bag Boy Lover Boy. This is the Bag Boy, and this is, well, I don't know, one of the prostitutes that he murders or whatever.
Yep.
And then if you want to change of pace, My Bodyguard. So there you go.
That's a good one.
Oh, and coming soon, we're gonna have a watch party for Over the Edge. So yeah, definitely that's gonna be on my channel. So join us for that. And anyway, you're welcome, Vanta, and thanks, Mikey, for hanging out and stuff. I'm really glad you were here always, and stuff. So I'm gonna leave you guys with the intros, the one that Sean made, and then the one that I made that I touched up with some stuff. And so
We're gonna hear everybody.
Yeah, everybody have a great evening.
What in the actual fuck is happening to me? I think I've taken a bunch of LS fucking D. Holy shit, something's happening here. Oh man, what the fuck? I think I'm gonna change.
You motherfuckers, I will burn you all to the ground.
Ray Dennis Steckler. Now, who doesn't love Ray Dennis Steckler? Assholes. Assholes don't love Ray Dennis Steckler. Ray Dennis Steckler, an incredible filmmaker.
Subscribe now to Texas HXCX 1965.
Good night. See ya.